not a natural hugger when I started this business. I wasn't. I was an only child, very, very, very conservative family. We were not very excessively affectionate. And then I met my husband, who literally would hug every one of you. He doesn't know what a stranger is. He's a hugger. And then I joined this company, and everybody's a friggin' hugger. So you gotta just embrace the hug, right? But at your parties, you're gonna have women that are not huggers. They can barely make eye contact, much less touch you, but you know you've made a dramatic connection with them when they hug you in the shopping mall, when they thank you, right? So think about that. And it's okay for you to say, you know what, I'm a hugger, can we hug? And sometimes, do you know that's the only contact that they will have in a month? Did you know that? There are women, single women, who do not get physical contact. So when you hug someone, don't underestimate it. Because if that's the only contact she's had in a day, in a week, in a month, or longer, she needs it. So embrace the fact that you're making a connection like that. So talk to find commonalities. While you're getting set up and chitty-chatting, we, especially those of us who are control freaks, I definitely fall in that category, when we're setting up our table and someone offers to help, our first inclination is to be like, no, don't touch my stuff, right? That's super thoughtful of you, but no. Try to resist automatically saying no. And be like, yeah, that would actually be great. Does your table have to be perfect? No. But if she wanted to help you set up, she's looking at you thinking, I wonder what it would be like to be this girl. I wonder what it would be like to be a consultant. So talk, chat with her. When you're waiting, you have guests, the traffic is bad tonight, right? So let's say you're gonna start a few minutes late because you're waiting on a couple of girls, chat with them. Don't talk to them about this stuff. You're gonna have plenty of time to talk about this. Talk about them. So how do you know the hostess? What do you do for a living? If you see that the hostess has cute little pictures of children in her household, oh, where are your kids tonight? What are they doing? What kind of fun things do they do? Oh, yeah, my kids, blah, blah, blah. We love to talk about our children. We really do. So, figure out what you have in common. When you can connect with people on something that they love, whether it's a family member or a hobby or a skill or whatever, even just complimenting someone on their jewelry, their hair, their shoes, it really does make a difference. Now, clearly you can't be artificial about it. You actually have to like it if you say you like it. But in my opinion, you can find something about everyone you meet that you like, whether it's their smile, whether it's their laugh, something. So look for those commonalities and connect with them that way. Name tags. This is effortless. I don't care how shy you are. You can be the shyest person in this room, in this company. But with a name tag, you can call them by name. And do you know what our #1 favorite word in our language is?
Our name.
Our name. When you say a baby's name, what do they do? Smile. So it's really important not only that you're able to call them by name during the party, but that it's going to create recall for you. So that when you call, and I don't do, some people like to do porn names and all kind of stuff. If you do that and that works for you, then I guess that's okay. But I'm going to be honest with you, when I do follow-up with clients, I don't want to be like, hey, Krusty Christy. I want to call her by her name. And when I do call them by name at their parties, 6 months, a year, 2 years later, I look at their order form, you'll be amazed at how it will come back to you. Because you associate the order form with the hostess and then with her name, right? Don't be afraid as well to make little notes on their order forms when they leave, as long as they're polite. Don't be like, giant boobs, bad shoes, you can't make those kind of commentary. But pretty flight attendant that is looking for another job, or mother of 6 that said that she really needed a night out. Those kinds of things, so that when you go back, when somebody's pregnant or getting married, write it down. So the next time you follow up with them, you can say, how's the baby? How is your wedding? How is your honeymoon? You will be stunned how they're like, oh my God, you remembered. You didn't remember, you wrote it down. But they don't have to know that. You took the time to care. And clearly Facebook is really, really helpful with this, but not everybody posts all of their personal stuff all over Facebook. I know it's a novelty. Some people don't spill their guts on Facebook, but really, whatever you can do to have some recall about them, and those name tags are a good way to start. Acknowledge their questions and comments. So when someone asks you a question, especially if things are kind of rowdy at the party, but the girl is like, can you explain to me again what the pubic bone is, or I don't understand what a clitoral hood is. You know what, girls, we actually had a great question. Tell me your name.
Chloe.
Chloe. We had a great question from Chloe. She just asked me how to find her clitoris. Okay? Acknowledge, name, repeat the question. It redirects everybody back. And there will actually be some women in the room who are literally so competitive, they're trying to think of a question because they want to be acknowledged, right? So, and that shows them that it's okay to interact. That it's not a lecture, that it's actually interactive and it's a two-way conversation at the party. Two things that are the glue that hold women together: laughter and tears. So it's our job, our tagline. What is our tagline? Empower, educate, entertain, right? That entertain is the laughing part. Sex is funny, y'all. I mean, it is. We make weird faces and crazy noises, and we contort our bodies to try and do something that we think is sexy, and it's funny. So our job is to say the things that everybody else thinks, but maybe is a little nervous about saying, right? Because when we make it okay to say it, when we use proper terminology, we call the vulva. Most women don't know there's a difference between a vulva and a vagina. So you need to know these terms. And God, these pictures, are you okay, honey? Did you just wet t-shirt contest back there? When I walked into this room, I was like, what are the elements of torture on the table? Just getting their water pitchers. So, if you're soaked, the best thing you can do is somebody will grab the phone in the back, dial 66, Gabby is going to answer the phone, and tell her we need a fresh tablecloth. We've already done this once today, she knows the drill. Okay, so the other thing, not just laughter, but tears. Clearly we don't want them crying in the middle of the party, because that's not a good sign. But you are going to have women that occasionally will come into your shopping room and will have created such a rapport with you throughout this show, or maybe throughout the course of their relationship with you over years of parties, and they get emotional. And when that happens, stop everything, drop everything, don't hold a calculator, don't hold a pen, nothing. 100% of your attention and focus goes to her, because the trust that's required to open up that way is huge. And you will bond for life if you can actually listen. Doesn't mean you can fix a bloody thing, but it means that you care enough to listen, right? Okay. All right, number one rule for selling. If you literally learn nothing else from me all night long, I hope you walk away really understanding this one slide. And welcome to the girls that are just coming in. Hi. Women do not actually buy our products. They buy what our products can do for them. They're not buying coochie. They're buying soft, silky smooth, rash-free skin that they're comfortable having touched, rubbed, and licked. Right? That's the difference. And you're going to see that when I do my party. I'm absolutely setting a stage, creating a scenario for every product so they understand how these products will change their life. You have to make it a need, not a want. Wants are optional. Needs are, I'm going to bend over backwards to make sure that either that's coming home with me tonight, or I'm getting it for free, or I'm signing up so I have a buying discount for life. Right? That is our job. All right, let's talk about country clubbing your business. I love this concept. So, what do you guys have country clubs here? No. Golf clubs?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Okay. And they're membership only?
Yeah.
Okay. What do they call it? Just a golf club?
They call them country clubs too.
Yeah, there's country clubs.
Okay. Okay, so they're called country clubs
we do
where
have
I
country
live.
clubs.
We're just that pretentious. So they're very exclusive. Many of them, especially in the DC area where I'm from, are crazy expensive, which means they have a very particular membership. Some of them you have to be invited to. It doesn't matter whether you have the money or not. If you're not invited, you can't go, right? You're going to do the exact same thing with your business. You're going to create a VIP plan for your clients. Is everybody a VIP? Nope. And that is why it's exclusive. And exclusivity creates competition. And there's nothing wrong with a little competition when it comes to your parties, okay? So here's what you're going to do. Throughout the course of your party, especially your opening speech, you're going to say to them, girls, when you're looking through your wish list at the end of the night, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I love it all, I'm a dirty girl. You're not a dirty girl, this stuff is fun. And you know what? When you shop, not only are you hooking up our hostess for the night, I am going to reward you. I have a VIP program for those of you that really love my products. And when you spend X, and we'll talk about how to get Why? And we'll talk about how you create your gift. And you're going to give them the opportunity to get something for free. Now, how do you create the number? How do you decide what the number is? This is where being a numbers girl is kind of important, okay? So you, especially using that party profit sheet that's on COO, really super important because it calculates the numbers for you. You need to know what your per person average is, and you cannot guess this. If I asked you right now what your per person is, it would be far higher than it actually is. We always overestimate what we think we're actually selling. So really important that you calculate it. Now, for those of you that are not math majors, I'm going to go through really fast what the equation is, and then you can apply it when you get home, okay? So let's say that you look back at your party that you had this past weekend. How many of you partied this weekend? Raise your hand. Raise them high, be proud, you partied your ass off. Yay! Woo! Love it. Okay, so you had, let's say you had a $1,000 party. We'll use some nice round numbers. $1,000 party, you had 10 people there. You're going to divide $1,000 by 10, and you have $100, right? That $100 is your per person. So when you go home, what I'm going to recommend that you do is go back. If you had 5 parties or more in March, just do March. If you have not, I'm going to ask that you go all the way back to the beginning of the year. Okay? Get all of your party files out, add up all of your sales, and we're not talking tax and shipping, just the subtotal, and then add up how many orders you actually got. I don't care about people that came and didn't shop. We're not worried about those. I care about the actual people who shopped. How many order forms do you have, and how much total sales do you have? Are you with me? You're going to divide that total sales number by the number of orders that you have, and that will give you your calculated per person average for 2014. Does that make sense? Now, when you have that number, let's say that that number is 50. I'm going to recommend that you double that. You're going to go up $50. Your VIP level, the first level, starts at 100. It's real hard to go up unless it's once a year. You can't just randomly like, wow, things, I went to Heather Pillow's training and my sales skyrocketed, so I'm going to bump it 3 months from now. You can't do that. You can do it at the beginning of the year, but pick a number that pushes them, okay? If your per person is 100, it's going to be 150, is where your VIP level is. Push them. Does that make sense? Yes. So, when you're talking about it, you're going to say, those of you who do some shopping tonight, when your order hits $150, you're going to get a freebie. Now, what you decide to give them for free needs to be a couple different things. One, it needs to be something that you do a really good demo on, because they need to be excited about it. It needs to be something that they desire, okay? I love to give them something that's consumable, so that they will be excited to do it again. They'll want to be a VIP again because they'll want it again. Whether it's a full-size Gucci, or a between the sheets, or whatever it happens to be, okay? Whatever it is you sell well, something consumable, ideally something you can get in a 6-pack, so you're getting it for even less. And I really love when it's something that's retired. Because when they put those suckers on sale, and you're getting them for like $3, that is where you're not losing anything. You're literally giving away $3, but she thinks that she's getting a $20 item, right? We can justify that. Why do you think, do you guys have Clinique over here?
Yeah.
Okay. Clinique. How many of you have ever gone into Clinique or Estee Lauder? You don't need more eyeliner, but you want the stupid little giveaway bag that has all the little samples in it. It's like, the bag is so huge, right? So you go in and you spend $25 on stupid makeup you don't need for the bag. They will do the exact same thing. If you show it well, they're going to want it, and they're going to want it for free, right? Now, the other thing you can do is you can actually create multiple levels for your VIP program. Because you're going to have some girls who are, they're like, VIP ain't enough. And in my opinion, when somebody comes in and they drop $250, $300, why not give them something extra, right? So make it an elite level. I have a VIP level, and then I have an elite level. And then it's an additional gift. And I like for that one to be something that buzzes. So whether it's a bullet, a Phillip, whatever it is you like, that, again, I'm really a huge fan of something that's retired, that's not in the current catalog, because there's an exclusivity to it. They can't buy it. They can't get on your website and get it. Does that make sense? Yep. It's hot, like for real. Here's what happens. So you go in your shopping room, and at the end of the party, you're going to remind them, girls, don't forget, when you're making out your wish list, look at the numbers. Don't miss out on VIP by a couple of dollars, because I would love to be able to give you these freebies. So they come in. First girl comes in, she's got her order. Your VIP level starts at 150 and her order is at 120. You're gonna say, after you go through everything that I'm gonna teach you, okay girl, just wanted to remind you that you're only $30 away from being VIP and getting this for free. And I love it when you actually have it there, kind of set up in a little display in the shopping room, so you can just grab it and go. Like they'll see that it's there. Some are gonna say no, but you'll be surprised how many are like, oh, and they go back to their wish list. It's important if you can like look over her shoulder. If she needs to get $30, look for something that's 40 to 50. You're gonna be like, I see that you like this. You have stars next to this one. Do you have questions about it? And then she's like, well, what if I took 10% off of it? You'll still bump over that 150. You get what you really want, and you get your free gift. You will be stunned when you give them a small discount. How they're like, okay, I'm in. Right? Really. And so now you just got your order to 160 or 70 plus she got extra goodies, and now here's what you do. And this is where it gets good. You're going to ask her. You always have to ask, is it okay that I announce that you're our first VIP of the night? Some women are going to say no. Not many, but some, because they do not want anyone to know how much money they spent. And that's okay. You have to respect that. But 9 times out of 10, she's going to be like, okay. And you're going to walk out of that shopping room and be like, ladies, please give a round of applause to our first VIP of the night. Give it up! And they're going to be like, And they're going to look back at their wish list because in their head they're like, if that bitch is VIP, I'm a VIP. I'm going to get me a VIP. Like their ghetto comes out, y'all, where they're like, I know that girl's not a VIP and I'm not. So that's where the inclusion comes in. We have an incredibly high rate of inclusion as women. We want to be part of the it crowd. Even those of you who are alternative, you still have a crowd you want to be a part of. This is just human nature. We are not naturally lone wolves. We want to be part of a pack, right? And women are the worst about it, which is great news for us because we're going to tap into that part of their psyche, right? It's awesome. Seriously, when you start doing this, think about it. Even if 25% of the people at your party, 10-person party, 2.5 people do this, look at how your sales are going to bump. Because I'm telling you, then the girls are going to start going out and be like, I'm VIP. Right? Like, they're bragging. And then you're going to have the girl who comes in and is like, wait a minute, didn't you have another level? Isn't there an elite level? What do I have to do to be that? And now, game on. Now you're going to have to stop yourself from doing the happy dance. You're like, oh my God, I'm making money, right? But try and maintain your composure. But it really is true. Women are going to be falling over themselves for this. Then you're going to have the girl who's like, oh my God, it's not pay week. I can't shop. Book her. Don't worry, girl. All of my hostesses are VIP, right? Book her. So don't make her feel bad because things are tight. Just give her another option. You can absolutely make this happen. Let's just do a party. All of my hostesses are VIP. For sure, like, just watch. You guys are going to be like, this works so good. It's such a good idea. Now, this kiss, keep it simple, sister. Do not make your VIP program difficult to understand. You should be able to explain it in less than 10 seconds. This is not hard. Okay, maximizing your demo time. So there was actually a study that was put out last year that said that we are officially stupid. We literally have the attention span less than a goldfish. A goldfish's attention span is 9 seconds. Ours is 8. So if you're doing a 5-minute demo on Coochie, you're not going to sell it. Plus, how much does it cost you guys? What is it? What is the retail here? 28. It's $28 item. Not making a lot of money on Coochie, okay? Unless you get her hooked and now she's coming back for it. It's called a loss leader. We want them to buy it because we want them to come back again and again and again and again, right? But how often do you really get refills on, say, Bosom Buddy? Not often. Because they use the tiniest amount of it, right? So when you look at what you're demoing, I want you to look at a couple of different things. One, does it actually need a demo? Can you look at it in the catalog and understand what it does? Because if you can, it is not worth demoing. They can look at it and read it. They're great girls. Even if they're not bright, they still get it, they can still buy it. So look, every single minute that you're talking at your party should be making you money. The other thing I want to look at is, what is the profit margin on the things you're showing? Our job, please write this down in big letters in your notes, our job is to show them the best, and the catalog has the rest. Y'all, I'm going to be honest with you. I have taught this in the U.S. I did 9 cities in January. Chris asked me, and it was fast and furious. It was nuts. The U.S. is up $6 million over projections for just the first quarter of this year because of this. I'm telling you, when you show them the good stuff, they're gonna buy the good stuff. Does that make sense? Y'all, seriously? Just because you wouldn't justify buying a $150 vibrator doesn't mean they won't. And it doesn't, your personal preference means nothing. You don't have to like anal. You don't have to know a bloody thing about it, except how to explain it to someone else and direct them to other resources. But your personal preference should not ruin their opportunity to have an experience, right? So look at what it is that you're showing, and you'll see, I don't show 3 G-spot toys, I show 1. I show 1 couples toy, I show 1 man toy, G-spot toy, clitoral toy, high-end toy, mid-range toy. That's it. I don't get crazy. The other thing you're going to find is the more of the lotiony potiony crap that you show, their attention span is done. Their brain is clogged. They've cut off by the time you get the toys. So those of you who are like, gosh, I just can't sell the toys, I will bet you a hot nickel you're showing too much mild stuff. It's not that you're not doing a good job, it's that they cannot absorb it. Our brains can't handle all of the info. And I'll tell you, y'all, I'm real honest about my business. I've made every mistake you can possibly make, and some of them I've made 2 or 3 times, okay? Not the brightest girl sometimes. When I was new, my original sponsor, the girl who signed me, lovely lady, did a 3-hour demo.
Cool. Holy crap.
3 hours. So I thought that's what this was supposed to be, right? Like, 3-hour demo. Well, I was 7 months pregnant when I started this business. Those of you, how many of you are pregnant in the room? There's a whole bunch of pregnant girls. Okay, yeah. Look at that. Jesus, what's in the water? Okay, so don't drink the water out of the pitcher. Seriously, get up and do a 3-hour demo and see how tired you are. If you're tired, how do you think your clients feel? Right? Their brains can't absorb it. So I did that for my first few months, and my sales were all right. I mean, the products were great. The products kind of sell themselves as long as you have a fun party. But I was toast. I was so tired. And so finally, I was like, you know what? This is ridiculous. And so what I did was I started paying attention to what I was actually selling. I went after every party and hash marked. One of these, one of these, one of these, one of these. Next order form. One of these, one of these, one of these, one of these. Next order form. And I looked. And if I showed something, let's say that I showed the miracle oil, and I didn't sell a bloody 1 at this party. Next party, not a 1. Next party, maybe I sold 1. Next party, none. Do I need to keep showing it?
No.
No. You either stop showing it or you get a much better demo. Those are your only 2 options. And you have a pretty extensive product line, so you have lots of options. So if one doesn't work for you and you can't sell it, just embrace it and show something else. Because every single minute that you're talking in your party should be making you money. It's called murdering your darlings. You're going to have products that you love, but if you don't sell them well, just embrace it and show something else. Okay? All right, the other thing that happens is when you limit what you're showing, you are duplicatable. It's going to make your recruiting so much easier because women in the crowd are going to look and be like, oh, I can totally do this. No problem. Whereas when you stand up there and you know all the details for like 3 hours worth of products, only the most egotistical or confident women are going to be like, oh yeah, I'm in. No problem. Right? Other people are going to be like, sweet baby Jesus, that was fun once, but I can't do that again. You'll actually lose bookings because people simply cannot invest that amount of brain power and time repeatedly. They won't do it. So limit it, cut it back. My opinion is that you show 1 to 3 items from every mild section. Like, and in a section I think spa stuff, massage stuff, bondage stuff, that kind of stuff, 1 to 3, and then no more than 8 to 10 toys. Tops. Tops, that's it. Up here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 toys. That's what I got, okay? So limit what you're showing, your sales will actually go up, you'll be stunned. Plus, you'll have to carry less stuff, because what you're showing is what they'll buy. And it's so much easier for you not to have to carry a gazillion bags into a party. Everything you do has to look duplicatable. It must be easy. If it's not easy, A, you won't stick with it. Doesn't matter how much you love the company, you'll give up, and that makes us sad. Plus, you'll have a much harder time building your team, and that is where the real income comes in. Big money. You gotta work much harder to make party money. You just do. As opposed to having a team and making money while you sleep. Right? Okay. So there are first class, second class, and third class toys. And as I said, it's our job to show the best, which would be first class toys, and third class toys are there for those who have a really, really, really super limited budget, or maybe just feel like a $20 orgasm is enough for them. I feel sad for those girls, but alas, there are going to be some who are just cheap. There's not a whole lot you can do other than try and suggest to her that she is worth an investment in her pleasure, especially if she has gone through multiple bullets and they keep dying and she keeps coming back. You're like, at what point do you recognize that you have spent so much on all these broken bullets? If you had just once invested in a good one, you wouldn't have to keep doing this, right? So some people will get on board and some people won't. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. The slides that are up here are American slides. So there are numbers, and some of the products are yours and some are not. But Chris actually asked me to keep these the same, because many of this stuff is going to be coming to you, and ultimately the profit margin is the same. Okay, so clitoral toys. Let's look at this. So 7 Heaven would be a third class toy. Split Decision in America is actually a second class toy. Put a Ring on It is the badass of our line. And that is my #1 selling toy for the record. So just look at what you're paying. This is a 40% buying discount. How many of you are currently at a 40% buying discount? Raise your hands high. Put them down. 45. That's actually more in this room. 50? 53? Do we have any 60s? Okay. All right, so look at the difference, girls. I want you to recognize something that you may not know. Did you know that the demo for 7 Heaven and Put a Ring on It is almost identical, with the exception of explaining the actual features, the physical features of the toy? It's the same demo. But look at the difference in what you're making. Right? I mean, there should be light bulbs going off over your head. Like, seriously. That Split Decision should be the only total toy that you're showing. That's what should be on your table, in your case, however you're displaying it. That's what's there.
So
Does it mean that people are going to not go to get the 7 Heaven? No, of course there's going to be some that want to, because they're only looking at price tags. But when you do a good demo, I promise you're going to have more people buying those better toys. Seriously. All right, G-Spot toys, same concept. Thumbs Up, Lush is one from America, and GPS is our, was our top line. Now we have GPS 2.0 that's a beast. Okay, yeah. So, same idea, look at the difference. Same demo, you're explaining to them how to find their G-Spot. What are they going to do? What are the benefits of finding your G-Spot? It's the same bloody demo.
Which one's one?
But look at the difference. $12 versus $31.60. That is a no-brainer. And honestly, even if you were to have both of them on display, there would be no question. People would be like, okay, we're all set. Go ahead and put the thumbs up away, it does nothing. So have that good one there. Bell Choice. Do you guys have Family Jewels? Yeah. Okay. So Family Jewels, Giddy Up, and Jelly Tool Bell. Jelly Tool Bell, I mean, even the way that it's presented in the catalog, it's very obvious that this is the top of the line, right? So again, same idea, $12 versus $23.60. So I really want you to look at what it is you're demoing. Is your entire toy demo made up of third-class toys? Because if it is, not only are you selling yourself short, you're selling your clients short. do your demo, that's only half of your job. The real magic happens in the shopping room. It is extremely important that you are respectful in the shopping room. So my recommendation is when people walk in, you have nothing in your hand. No pen, no calculator, no nothing. You are open-handed and ready to welcome them. Because some are going to come in and be like, you were so funny, and hug you. And when you're standing there with a calculator and a pen, it just says, give me all your money, right? Like, it's pretty aggressive, so that's not what I recommend that you do. Now, again, lots of eye contact, and you're going to ask 3 questions. And I'm betting that many of you are probably asking 3 questions, but you're not asking the right ones. It's about how you present them. So the very first question you're going to ask is, how much fun did you have? It's an open-ended question, not did you have fun. That can be a really simple yes, but when you ask them how much fun did you have, it's going to allow them to gush. You were so funny. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how educational that was. That was so good. Not only does it make you feel good because they're gushing about you, but it actually is reminding them how much fun it was, how much they learned, because that's going to help get those bookings. It's bringing it all back around to, yes, you were amazing. We want more of that. The second question you ask is, what questions can I answer for you? Not, do you have questions? I want you to know that in 9 years of business, I have never had a single client not have a single question. Even if it's just, do you take American Express? It's a question. I love when they come in and they're like, I don't have any questions. And then I'm like, okay, so let's do some shopping. And they're like, okay, wait, I have a question. You know, and I'm like, I knew it. But just give them the opportunity, and again, nothing in your hands, like your hands are empty, you're focused on them, answer whatever questions they have. Once they're done, they've exhausted their questions, this is the one that makes a difference. Tell me what you loved. What did you love tonight? Because what they loved and what they can afford to buy may be 2 different things. But it's important for you to know what they love so that if they can't afford it, you know to immediately go to the booking. Does that make sense? Yeah. Now, you're going to go through and they're going to tell you who they love. I let them give me their list first, and then I go back if they've missed things. So let's say she says, I want the heartthrob, and I want the family jewels, and I would like the split decision, and I want toy cleaner. Okay? So I'm going to go back and say, okay, so I have just a couple of quick questions for you. First of all, the heartthrob was the heated massager. Which scent of the Aura did you like? We have multiple scents. I guess you guys have one, yes?
Mm-hmm.
One. Okay, so you're going to say, I'm assuming that you need the Aura to go with it so that you can rub. Yes? Yeah? And she's like, oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, put that on there. Great. And then you're going to go, okay, so we have the couple soy on here. Super fun. It's going to be a big night at your house. Which flavor of whipped was it that you wanted to go with it? We have banana, we have vanilla cupcake, and we have rainbow sherbet. Not do you want it. Which one do you want? Because it will not work properly without it. You know it. It's your job to know it. You need to make sure she understands this, right? And then finally, split decision. You're going to say, okay, so there's 2 things that you're missing for the toy for you. One is the toy tote to make sure that you have someplace safe to keep these toys. And the other is a nice personal lubricant. Which one did you prefer? Sometimes she's going to say yes. Sometimes she's going to say, you know what, I actually already have it. Especially if she's already come to your party. She's probably done it once. And lube does last quite some time. But it's your job to make sure she is going home with all of the accoutrements that she needs for every single product. Because if she gets home and she doesn't have that whipped, and she tries to put that sucker on him, and he squeals like a little girl, she will never shop from you again because now he's annoyed and she's embarrassed. Right? Do you think she's going to call you and be like, this didn't go so well? Very few will. Very few are bold enough to call and say, user error, something isn't right. And unless you're doing amazing follow-up and calling every single client, you will never know she's unhappy. Because we're just not that brave most of the time, right? So give her the opportunity. Now I will tell you that if somebody comes in and they're like, oh no, I don't use cleaner. Nope, and they're like vehement about it, I say to her with a big smile on my face, okay girl, I just want you'll notice when I give you your receipt that I have to put on here that you refused cleaner because you're gonna end up with issues with your toy. So when you call me, I just need to make sure that I understand what you're cleaning it with, okay? Because when she calls you 6 months from now and is like, my bob is peeling, first thing you're going to do is pull out the order form to make sure that A, she's actually talking about bob and not something else, and B, did she use a lubricant and a cleaner? Because if I see refused cleaner on her order form, I'm going to say, okay, girl, a couple of user error questions. So what are you cleaning it with? Because I know you didn't get the cleaner. Find out. Is she using Purell, rubbing alcohol, antibacterial soap? Like, what is she using? Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
It's really important. And when you do that, you will be stunned how often they're like, oh, you know what? You're right. Just put it on there. Or I love when they're like, I already have cleaner at home. And I'm like, okay, girl, just make sure you don't put anything else on it because it's going to destroy your toy. And I go like, I'm done. And she's like, well, I don't know how much is left in my bottle, so throw another one in there. Okay, no problem, right? Like, sometimes they just need to be a little skeeved out by the potential for disaster with their toy. Like, you really, this is not an upsell. This is how it works, right? So be confident in your products. If you know that she needs this product, be confident. The other thing to keep in mind is that when she says no, it's not no, I don't like you, or no, I don't like your products. It's just a no. It's like when you go to the restaurant, right? You order your entree, and the server says, would you like a starter salad? Do you look at him and go, what are you trying to say? I'm a fat cow, I need something else? No! You're like, yes, I want a salad, or no, I do not. And I promise you, if you say no, he's not going back into the kitchen and crying because you said no to the salad, right? So, same for you. Some will, some won't. Who cares? Who next? That's what it boils down to. Really. In all things in this business, some are going to book parties and some won't. Some are going to join your team and some won't. You can't sweat it. You're in sales and you're going to hear no. No has never killed anybody. Ever. It's never maimed anybody. So you're safe, okay? But you know what does kill a business? Is sending people home that don't have the right products. And she tells everybody that your product sucked. It's not your product sucked. It's that you didn't have the right tools to make them work properly. But you didn't do your job. Does that make sense? So keep in mind, you are a full service traveling boutique. Do you know that? That's what you are. You're a traveling boutique. So present it that way. That absolutely country clubs your business. Oh, last question. Ooh, this is so good. Okay, so she thinks that she's got everything. She's all VIP. She's like, woo, yay me. And you're going to say it. And you can't say it to everybody because some people, you're going to see their body language literally says, I'm done. We're done shopping. Run the credit card. We're done. But sometimes you're going to have people, and you'll notice their body language is very open. There's still lots of eye contact. You're going to say, one more last question for you, okay? I want to make sure if there's any kind of, like, issue in your bedroom or relationship, that one thing that makes you crazy, is there something on this list you're taking home tonight that will address it? Because oftentimes what she's getting is what she loves and she's excited about, but let's say that what she's getting is all about her, and what is really the problem in the bedroom is that she just can't stand giving oral and he loves it. When she says, well, I mean, ugh, God, he just loves a BJ, and I would rather poke my eyes out, right? You're gonna be like, all right, girl, listen, like, I realize that might only be 3 times a year. Birthday, anniversary, and Valentine's Day, right? I get it. But at least when that happens 3 times a year, you should be good at it. So here's what I got. And then you're gonna bust out sensations and great head and tickle his pickle, like the trifecta, right? Sometimes she'll take it, sometimes she'll take one, sometimes she'll take the whole set because you've just reminded her that she feels pain because of this. We make decisions because of pleasure or pain. 2 things. Every decision we make in our entire life, pleasure or pain, right? So chances are, much of what she's bought is because of pleasure. You want to make sure that you address her pain as well so that it's no longer pain. Are you with me?
Yep.
Isn't this exciting? Y'all, seriously, when you start looking at this, your business is going to explode. It's so exciting. Oh, I love it. Okay, so there is a difference between upselling and cross-selling. Big difference, actually. So upselling is going from the heart massager to the heart throb. Cross-selling is going from the heart throb exclusively to the heart throb and aura, and maybe the erotic massage book, and maybe even in good hands, right? do both. So it's pretty important that you understand your product line. So this is definitely something, those of you that are hosting meetings on a regular basis, have a little exercise where you guys like throw out a product and say, okay, so I want you have 30 seconds to write down what you think would be cross-selling for these products. Some people, if you can justify it, it works. And some people are incredibly creative, like really creative. So it's a great thing to do as a group exercise. It is so much easier to dial it back than it is to go up, which is why I tell you to show the best. You can show Wanda, but she may need to dial back and go Buzz, and that's okay. But it's impossible to get her to go from thumbs up to Wanda. You can't do it. If you can, I need to see your demo. Really, because it's very difficult mentally to make that happen. It's like when you're house hunting. How many of you are homeowners? Raise your hand. Even if you're in an apartment. So let's say you go to an apartment complex, or you're dealing with a real estate agent, and you're like, okay, here's our budget. Does she ever show you anything that's at your budget?
No.
No. She goes 50 grand up. Because when you fall in love with the house, you're going to mortgage yourself to the hilt to get the one you love, right? It's sales, and that's our job. Now, I need you to remember that when you do it properly and you have good body language and you're justifying it to her, it's not just buy it, buy it, buy it. You are not pushy. You're in sales. It's your job. And again, this is where you're going to have to start learning to read body language. When they break eye contact, when they go to their purse to get their credit card and they're not looking back at you, they literally turn their back to you. She might still be talking and her voice is real friendly, but her body language is saying, I'm done. Then you stop. That's it. But if she's open and she's, or God, she's like, what else? What am I missing? What do I need? I'm trying to reinvigorate my marriage. What do I need? Then you start asking questions. So, do you like to have oral with your partner? Do you need help with foreplay? What is it that your partner has always tried to do and you've never tried? So start talking to her. Because just because you wouldn't spend $400 doesn't mean she won't. So don't let your personal hang-ups stop her from absolutely having the night of her life and shopping her face off. Now, you are not a one-night stand. If you are, shame on you. Really. So do you take their money and never, ever, ever communicate with them again? Don't. Remember I said earlier tonight, it's so much more work to constantly find new clients than it is to keep the ones that you already have. Make them happy. So I will tell you that, especially as a new consultant, and I definitely was guilty of this, when I was new, the top of the line toy was something called the Decadent Indulgence 3. And it was a badass, it was a great toy. It was $130, that was the most expensive toy in our line at the time. And it was not a first-timer toy. It really wasn't. Like, even on low, this thing was wicked, okay? So it really was not something where someone has never had a vibrator before that would be appropriate for them unless they were someone that had maybe had kind of nerve damage or something where they really knew that they needed seriously intense stimulation. Most women don't know that about themselves until they've had a toy. So I always, and I'll say this at some of my parties, I'm like, listen, toys are like drugs. If you've never had one before, you're looking for a gateway toy, okay? You're looking for marijuana. This is heroin, okay? And they can relate to that. Some women are going to come in and be like, okay, so I want the heroin. And you're like, great, done. But others come in and you're like, okay, so I don't know if I need the thumbs up or if I need the Wanda. Do not immediately go in for the kill and give her the best of the best unless she needs it. Because if she's like, I don't know, I'm a little nervous or whatever, talk to her. So when you're with your partner, do you like to be stimulated internally, externally, or both? If she says, well, I'm really more of an internal girl, like I enjoy that feeling of fullness. I like the actual questioning that goes along with it. Okay, so do you find that you have no problem having an orgasm, or does it take a little while? Like, do you need lots of foreplay to get built up? So ask some questions. Are they really personal questions? Yes. Will they answer them? Yes. And so if you've got someone who maybe is a little standoffish, you're going to say, so I have a couple of kind of personal questions that I can ask that it's going to involve some sharing, which is okay, but it's really going to help you make a good decision. Like, just give her a little heads up, right? It's a consultation. Please write that down. You know your title is consultant, right? You are a consultant. You're a personal consultant. You're giving her a consultation. It's not just selling her a product. It's making sure that she's going home with what is appropriate for her. Because here's the deal. She's never had a toy before, and she goes home with Tom. Is there anywhere for her to go from there? No. You're going to have a real hard time making her a client for life because she has nowhere to go. So unless you get a new toy that's a bigger badass than Tom, anything she gets that's less than that is probably going to be disappointing, right? So this is where you got to chat with her a little bit when she's in the shopping room. Now, she comes in, and that's when you say, what did you love? Tell me what you love. Well, I love Tom, but, I got to pay rent next week, and no problem. So we have two options. I can give you 10% off of Tom if you'd like to take him home tonight for a little discount. Or, better yet, you can book a party, host a party, get your girlfriends together, and at a minimum you're going to get whatever it is discount that you give your hostess, but you could actually get him for free. Which one do you prefer? Some of them want that immediate gratification. Like they just want to justify, you give them a little kickoff and they're done. But others really legitimately are strapped for cash, and they're going to be happy to book a party. And you're going to be delighted because you have more people that you will meet when she hosts her party, right? So, when someone doesn't say no, when they give you an objection or they voice the concern, it's not a no, it's an I have a problem, how can we fix it? It's your job to fix it. So get creative. She'll tell you what she can do, but when you give her choices, she will feel good because she ultimately made the decision. She was not forced to do one thing or the other. Does that make sense? That was not affirmative.
Yes.
You guys with me? Yeah? Okay. If you're glazing over, I'm going to make you do jumping jacks. Are you ready? Okay. So spending $300. So if you have somebody, this is really a very simple thing to do. It's going to feel a little uncomfortable the first couple of times you do it, but when you do, and it works the first time, you're hooked. So when someone comes in and they've got their big old wish list there and they're dropping $300 or more, before you do this, you're going to say, especially if she's got a bunch of the lotiony-potiony stuff that comes in all of the kits, you're going to say, okay, real fast, before we finalize this, I just want to give you an option. Because you're about to spend more than it costs to actually get a starter kit that includes these 7 items on your list. So the option that you have is to actually get a starter kit. You've got all these fun products that you like. I'll give you X for free. Pick one of the things that is on her list but isn't in the kit. And you'll have a 40% buying discount for a minimum of 60 days. But it could be for life. Any interest? You'll be stunned how many women are like, okay, great. Because when you show them the picture, like I have a laminated picture of the kit in my shopping room to show them what all's in it. When they look at it and they see how much stuff it is, and they're about to spend $300 on only like 8 items as opposed to the 15 that are in even that standard kit, they'll do it. And now, she may come in and she may just be the personal shopper. She likes to buy and discount for herself. There's no problem with that. But sometimes she gets in and she sees the culture of the company and she's like, this is kind of cool. Like, maybe I'll do a party. And now you have a team member that you didn't have before. Does that make sense? She says no, you've just given her options. She said no. Again, remember the guy with the salad not crying in the kitchen, right? No can't hurt you. But at least you've given her the choice to get more bang for her buck, literally. Okay, so please be honest. Be honest, be trustworthy, and be kind. There are going to be times when somebody comes into your shopping room. Pretty sure I just broke this thing. They're going to come in, actually in your whole party, and they're not nice people. Like, there are going to be people at your party that simply are not nice people. People that you're like, how fast can I get this woman out of my shopping room? Like, she's just not friendly, right? Doesn't matter. First of all, you have no idea what's going on in her life right now. She could have had the worst day ever, and you were the easiest target to take it out on. But the bottom line is if you can look in the mirror every single night after a party, after an event, and know that you were professional, you were kind, and you could absolutely have Patty Brisbane watching you on hidden camera and be proud, don't sweat it. You can't make everybody happy, right? But a lot of times, the mean girls just need someone to be nice to them, because not everybody has nice in their life. So just make sure that the image that you're putting out there really is the one that you want people to think of when they think of you, right? And then you can get in the car and you can call your sponsor or your sister consultant and be like, I had the worst person at my party. And you can have a moment and vent and get it out there, right? But when you're on the spot with her, doesn't matter. She deserves your respect just like everybody else. Questions? Yes, in the back.
I have to get in the boarding room. All my friends are these friends, so I won't have many girls to come to my party.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the very first thing you're going to say to her is, are you buying every single product that you love tonight?
Yeah.
And when she says no, you're going to go, guess what? Neither are they. They'll come back and they'll shop. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Yep. Oh, P.S., you're not their only friend. When people are like, all my friends are here, I'm like, yes, but you're not their only friend. They have other friends, and we'll get them to bring them. It'll be a whole new party. Got it?
Thanks.
Yep. Yes.
With the VIP group, how do you invite past customers? What's your best way? Like, I've got
Book a
5
party.
past customers.
Doesn't matter. If they haven't done a party, they're on a party.
Yeah.
You're like, I got a new VIP program, girl. You want to come, and you want all your girls to come. Don't extend it outside of a party.
Okay.
Negative Ghost Rider.
All right.
Because they will buy less if they're not at a party. They come to a party and they fall in love with the stuff, they are far more likely to be impulsive and shop than they are if it's outside. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. Go ahead, Latia.
How do you maintain your minimum sales when if you're recruiting every girl that's over $300?
You're not going to recruit every girl. I mean, you're not going to recruit half of them. You're just offering her the opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. Let me follow. If you recruit every girl you offer that to, you're going to be making an ass ton of money because you're going to have a whole bunch of people on your team. Don't sweat it.
What would be your percentage that actually buy the kit and actually activate afterwards? And
I'm sorry. Repeat it. I didn't hear the beginning.
how many of the girls that you recruit in that situation actually maintain the business? And
You know, I've never actually tracked them.
Okay.
I have 2 in particular that I did that with last year who are still in, still shopping, still selling. Holiday season, they actually did all kinds of stuff. Are they ever going to be top producers? I don't know. Who knows? But they help me maintain my level,
Yeah.
and they're happy. That's all that really matters, right? Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just another one with the VIPs. On the night where they become a VIP, they get a free goodie. Do you then offer them things throughout the month and the year to get them back, or free?
So that's a great question. So it depends on how organized you really are. So if you're very, very structured, and some people are and some people aren't. If you're very structured, you can keep a running list, like in an Excel spreadsheet or however it is you track your clients, of your actual VIPs. And then maybe once a year, maybe around the holidays, send them a special sale that's exclusively for them. Typically for me, I send out, like if I send out a sale, it's, so for 24 hours, you can get 20% off of X, Y, and Z. VIPs get 25% off. Somebody comes back to me and says, I'm a VIP. Am I cross-referencing to make sure that they are? No. Very few women are bold enough to lie about that. More often than not, they're going to come back and be like, wait, how do I become a VIP? Right?
Yeah.
So all I care about is that they shop with me again. Yes.
Sorry, you mentioned how you calculate your VIPs, but elite, what would you say for elite? Because I might have missed it, but...
So it needs to be a big number.
Okay.
No less than 200.
Okay.
I don't care where your current personal is.
Mm-hmm.
They need to stretch. So if your regular level, let's say it's 150, then your elite is no less than 250.
Okay.
I know some of us have it set at 300 to really make them stretch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
If they've reached the normal VIP level and they've reached the elite level, do you still give that VIP?
Yes, excellent question. Yes, they get 2 gifts. Oh, yes. Yeah. Any others? Yes.
What do you offer as your ongoing VIP status?
Honestly, it kind of changes for me, and typically it's going to be like a seasonal thing. So sometimes it's coochie, sometimes it's the heart massager, Sometimes it's between the sheets, like in the summer I love between the sheets. I don't show the heartthrob or the heart massager when it's hot outside because nobody wants to be rubbed with something that's hot. So it just kind of depends on what it is that I'm doing. But generally I'm looking at the same value where it's going to be between for me $15 and $20.
I mean, like more, like once they've hit VIP, do they get anything special? Like
Just the occasional sale, but it's only an annual thing. Like if she comes back, she can be VIP again and again. So if she comes back to another party 90 days later, she can be VIP again. Sure. Yes. What, I thought I saw another hand. No? Any other questions on the psychology of selling? Yes.
Just back to your demo as well. You mentioned that you know how many lines you do for your demoing. Roughly how long does your demo take?
You'll see. I'm going to do it.
Okay, nice.
There's questions over.
Hold on 1 second. Let me just pull up the next one. I'm not the most technologically savvy individual, so hold on a moment. Hello. Huh? Try the what? I did. Hold on. I know, they sent me a Mac. They're like, here, we'd like you to use a Mac. I'm like, oh, okay. I have no idea what I'm doing.
You can go back to
Chad,
your
hold on, I
downloads
might need you.
and then click where the box is and stuff.
Click the box.
Yeah,
Oh!
there you go.
Ta-da! Who said that? Who's the girl? You're the girl. Great job. Okay. Okay, so we had a question over here. Yeah. I say if you're new and you're here to have a party, jump right in. Girls, please listen. We had a great question actually. She asked if you're brand new and you've never got a party yet, do you go ahead and jump right in with VIP? Yes. And set the bar high, 150. Great question. Yes.
It doesn't apply to you. It's all good.
At the beginning and at the end. Yeah. And actually, wherever you're showing the product that's the gift, again. So for those of you that love the idea of being VIP, boom. There you go. Any other questions? No, not necessarily. Because I don't want it to be like, well, she got a better gift than me. Consistency. Yep. Yeah. The thing is that, let's say that they discontinue, like for us, they discontinue the pink cupcake. That would be what I would get, where they can't get it unless they're VIP. I'm really looking for something that's going to make it exclusive, right? Like they can't get it from another consultant. They can't get it on my website. They have to get it from me by business level. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, are you guys ready to move on? Everybody hanging in there? Okay. All right, so hostess coaching, quite possibly one of the most boring topics on the planet. But here's the good news.
Check it out.
This system will dramatically change your business. And I don't care how long you've been in. Because if you do good hostess coaching, you are going to eliminate last-minute cancellations. They will literally be a thing of the past unless, God forbid, there is a death in her family or somebody's vomiting. That's really the only time I get last-minute cancellations at this point. You're going to have a significantly higher head count at your parties. And when you have that, you're going to have higher sales. It's just the law of averages. You're going to have more bookings because you're being exposed to more people. And you're actually going to have a much easier time recruiting because you're simply meeting more women. The more women you meet, the more opportunities you're extending, right? Okay, so what is hostess coaching? Raise your hand if you have never, ever heard the term hostess coaching. Raise them high. Don't be shy. Up, up, up. Okay. I was in business for 6 months before I ever heard this term, which is kind of scary because it means I was winging it for 6 months. Crazy, I know. So, hostess coaching can be drilled down into 2 words. Managing expectations. That's what it is. You're managing your hostess's expectations. You're actually going to be managing the guest's expectations. And ultimately, you're managing your expectations for each individual party. Now, as I said, you're going to have less cancellations. you are ultimately going to have the higher rate of new bookings, which is pretty important because if you don't have bookings, you don't have a business. Like, I don't know if you guys realize this, but we're in a party business. So those of you that are doing online parties, it's not a party. It's an email, okay? A party actually involves live people and cocktails and snacks and people touching things and ooh la la. Like, it's a party. So I need you to be doing parties because if you're not, it's a hobby. And hobbies cost you money, they don't make you money. You know that, right? That's like scrapbooking. Very few people actually make money scrapbooking, right? Okay, if you do, wow, you're amazing. Higher sales, more recruit leads. You're ultimately going to be earning more free product because you have higher sales, which means you'll be able to be more generous with your hostess, which is awesome. Because the more generous you are with your hostess, the more loyal they will be, and the bigger their mouths will be, so you'll have more referrals. Do you see how this is literally like the circle of life, right? Like, it's all related. It all goes back. You look at the Lion King, you're, oh, right? Like, when you do this, this is going to completely change the face of your business. Ultimately, the bottom line, all of this means more money in your pocket. And let's be honest, this isn't a charity, right? Like, we're here to make money, y'all. I hate to break it to you. You want to make income. So there are 7 deadly sins in hostess coaching. Can you all tell that I'm Catholic? Okay, so number 1, booking her and never communicating with her until party day. Anybody ever done this? I for sure have. Yeah, be honest. I like honest. Okay. Yeah, I actually did it in January. Yeah. This 2 months ago. I'm on the bus. We're cruising along through America. I'm like, awesome, my business is so good. And I got a phone call from a client I love who's like, we are super stoked to see you on Saturday. It's Thursday. I was like, wait, what? I booked her and forgot to write it down. But she didn't forget, and she was on it, and she had a huge party waiting for me. And I also had another party booked that day. So what did I have to do? I had to throw myself on the sword and own up to the fact that I double booked accidentally, and one was okay, and one was pissed. So I did the party for the one that was pissed, and I gave a $2,000 party away. Right? Like, you don't want to make that mistake, y'all, okay? So make sure you're on top of this stuff and you're communicating a lot with your hostesses. Number 2, assuming that she knows what she's doing. I don't care if she works for another in-home party plan. That does not mean that she knows how to host a Pure Romance by Katie party. Hell, I don't care if she's hosted a party for Chloe. She doesn't know how to do your party. So you have to coach her. And do you know who the hardest people to coach are?
Consultants.
Your relatives.
Oh, that too.
Oh my gosh, they're the worst. Because they think you're kidding. They think you're like, oh, I mean, for real, like, it's fine. I'm going to put out some brownies. I'm going to host this party. Like, they don't take it seriously when you're like, 20 people, dude. I need you to pack the house. For real, I'm coming. Okay, worst. They're the worst. 3, not knowing why she is hosting. I have the coolest little tool to give you. This will never be a problem again. And this is really important because if you don't know what's motivating her, you don't really know how to talk to her individually. Hostesses are like snowflakes. Every single one is different. Every party is different. That's actually the cool part about this. I mean, I've done more than 800 parties. Still doing it, still loving it, because it's always different. So that means you have to work with them differently. Number 4, relying on only one form of communication. You might be a phone talker, but she's a texter. Does that mean you're not going to talk to her on the phone? Nope. It means you're going to explain to her that there's a certain way that we're going to communicate. You'll accommodate her, but she's going to have to accommodate you as well. And I'll give you the words to make that comfortable. Number 5, allowing your hostess to run your business. This is a fun event for her. She doesn't have to do it. It's completely voluntary. It's your business. So, again, you can say almost anything with a smile and get away with it, okay? So I'm going to teach you all the things that you say to make sure that she understands that you're making it about her, but ultimately, it's also about you. This is a partnership. Number 6, making it all about you. So again, there's a fine line. Like, yes, it's your business, but without your hostess, you don't have a business. So So you have to make sure that you're accommodating both sides of this fest. And it's a seesaw. You have seesaws, teeter-totters? Yeah. Okay. Teeter-totter? What do you call it? Seesaw, okay. Okay, so number 7, the last one, assuming that what you see is what you get with head count. Even 24 hours before a party, you can resuscitate a head count with a little extra work. It's not easy, but it's doable, and it's a hell of a lot better than a cancellation. Although I'll be completely frank with you, you should know long before the week of the party if there's a problem with head count. If you're not on top of it before then, shame on you. All right, what do we get to our hostess? So there's all kind of stuff on this list. I'm going to go through this. Some of it goes in the hostess packet, some of it is verbal, and some of it you're going to hand her on the spot. So 40 guests in 4 minutes. And please remember that you do not have to recreate any of these documents. Every single one of them will be made available on your COO in the next 7 days. So don't fret, okay? Please don't waste any time recreating these. 40 guests in 4 minutes is a great little tool to make sure that your hostess is thinking beyond her immediate circle of friends that she sees on a daily, weekly basis, right? Because it's a numbers game. She needs to invite a minimum of 40 people. Here's why, especially for you new girls that haven't really started looking at the numbers in your business yet. So if she invites 40 people, at least 15 of them won't even bother to reply. They literally won't RSVP at all. So now you have 25 people here. You're probably going to have 12 that say yes, and maybe 10 to 12 that are like, maybe weak yeses or nos, okay? Of the 12 people that have said yes, 3 to 5 will bail the night of the party. Now we're down to 7 to 8 people. Do you see? 40 people to get 7 to 8 people at a party. The more people she invites, the better off you're going to be. Now, is that always the case? No. Sometimes you're going to have a bridal party. She invites 11 people, and all 11 people come because it's a specific date that they've all agreed on. Maybe it's a play group. Maybe it's a book club. But that's not the norm, y'all. Like, most people are kind of scatterbrained when it comes to their calendars, and they may have the best of intentions of coming, but life happens, and it stops them. So the more people you have, you're stacking the deck, so that if they are sick, if their husband doesn't come home, if they have a school event that pops up or whatever, she has other people that are there to kind of cover her bets, right? Now, I do not give her a hostess packet on the spot. This is my personal preference. Maybe it's because I'm cheap, but I don't want to give her a packet that costs me money and have her cancel, like the next day. That's super frustrating. So I prefer to confirm the party with her the next day, and once I hear from her and she's like, oh my gosh, I had a super excited gig, then I send her the hostess packet. The other issue is a lot of times they're tipsy when they book, and they leave it behind. And she's like, oh my gosh, I totally lost that packet you gave me. Can you send me another one? You're like, yes, you know, because it does. It costs you money. Catalogs cost you money. Samples cost you money. It costs you time to put them together. So over the course of years, I just decided, you know what? Nothing on the spot. That's it. All I will do is I will give her 40 guests in 4 minutes on the spot at the party. And I say to her, do you have 4 minutes to have a little sip of wine and fill this out? If you do, bring it back to me and I'll give you a free gift. Some people are going to be like, no, I gotta go, I gotta get up for work, or my bride's leaving, or whatever. And then I just say, okay, so just do me this in the next 24 hours, go ahead and fill it out and send me a picture of it. Text it to me, here's my business card, and I'll make sure you get a free little gift at your party. Ultimately, whether she does it on the spot or she sends it to you, what you're doing is you're looking to see immediately if there's a problem with her invite list. If she sends it back to you, or brings it back to you, and she not only filled out the whole thing, but she had to go on the back, because she kept looking at more people, you're good. Like, she gets the idea. She's probably not prejudging. She brings that list back and there's 16 people on it. You need to address it right now. Politely, but address it. All right, girls, this is a really good start. Is there a reason that you have all these blanks? Like, what's going on? Well, those are the only women I know. I'm like, oh, are you new to the area? She's like, no, I grew up here. I'm like, okay, so I'm guessing that you're kind of picking and choosing who you're going to invite because of the topic. Is that right? Like, call it out politely, right? Like, let's just call a spade, you're afraid of the sexual party thing, right? And when she's like, well, I can't invite my church friends, and I don't know about the mom. She is being Judgy McJudgerson. And you're going to need to address that pretty quickly with her, because it also means that she will not be promoting this on her Facebook. She's not going to be talking about it at her social events over the next few weeks. She's not going to. She's literally going to send out this invitation, and it's going to be like, don't tell anybody, right? Like it's a secret society. So you're going to say to her, okay, so I'm guessing that you don't want to invite them because you don't want to offend them. Is that right? And when she was like, yeah, it makes me uptight. I'm going to say, okay, honestly, I'm just going to give you a scenario because I know you don't want to be this girl. And they're like, okay. And I say, so do you live in a neighborhood? You live in the suburbs? Yes. So do you have anybody like on your street or your neighborhood that you like to bunko with or have wine with or whatever? That's kind of conservative. Yes, my neighbor is like all the time. Great. So your kids play together? Yes. And I'm just like, I'm kind of picking and choosing like I say based on the down ground, right? So I'm like, okay, so you choose not to invite this woman because you don't want to offend her, right? But she comes home from picking up her son the night of your party, and your street is lined with cars, and she sees women flooding into your house. And she wasn't invited. What did you just do? And she's like, I offended her. Like, they just don't think beyond the immediate, what are they going to think of me if I invite them to a sexual party, right? But when you paint a picture for her, like, girl, you're not that girl, I know you're nice. So when she acknowledges it, I'm like, okay, so here's what we're going to do to avoid this. Just give her first right of refusal. Invite them. Because I will tell you, some of my best, longest, loyalist customers were the most conservative women before they met me. There is no way for you to know what anyone does in their bedroom. All you can do is give her the chance to come have a glass of wine. And you'll be surprised when you put it to them like that. And does that take a few minutes in your shopping room? Yes. Is it worth it? Hell yes. Because you want her to address it face to face with you now. It's so much harder on the phone to address a low head count because it just sounds greedy. Whereas when you're face to face, she can see that you're earnest. She can see that you're not just like, I'm just putting people there so that they can shop, right? Like, it's all about, you don't want to be the girl that screwed everybody else over because you were nervous. They don't want that. Nobody sets out to be the bitch that hosts the party that excludes people. No one. So it's your job to explain to her why she's actually hurting herself and her friends. Does all this make sense?
Yeah.
How many of you have dealt with this before? I mean, the judging thing is legit. I did it when I hosted my first party, and I had a big invite list, but I still didn't invite people from my church group until the hostess said to me, so, girl, I know you're really active in your church. Are any of these girls that are coming from your Catholic group? I'm like, oh, no, hell no. And she's like, so I just want to reiterate, you're Catholic, right? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, how do you think you get all those kids? And I was like, oh, okay. So then I invited, and seriously, like my Catholic friends were drunk as cooters at the party. They were wild because they never get to cut loose, right? Like they were looking for an opportunity. And some of them to this day are my underground clients. They have literally never attended another party, but they shop all the time. They just don't want anybody to know. So it's really, really important that you're communicating very openly with your hostess so that she understands all of this when she books the party. Now sometimes you're going to have somebody come in who is like, I'm only inviting my playroom. I'm only inviting my book club. It's a special event or whatever. There is not a bloody thing you can do about that. And you're just going to do it. Doesn't mean it's not going to be an amazing party, but if that's every single party, you're going to have a hard time perpetuating your business. Because it's when they have just their play group that you're going to get the comment that the lady in the back said and was like, well, everybody I know is here. This is everybody that I would invite. When you have people that invite from all different areas of their life, you're way more likely to get bookings into new groups. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so in my hostess package, I have a confirmation letter, and I'll show you that document momentarily. I put 2 catalogs that have my info sticker on them. Nothing should ever leave your office. Product, paper product, doesn't matter, without your personal information on it. Everything should be smeared with Heather Spironius. Everything should be all over it. I like to put a sample of Coochie or Just Like Me, and normally it's Coochie, because you're planting her in the crowd. Now, if she's already a Coochie lover, give her the Just Like Me. But if she's never tried it before, give her the Coochie and tell her, I'm putting a sample in your hostess packet. I want you to use this prior to your party so that you can share with your friends how much you love it. You're planting her. Because here's what. So Coochie comes up, it's my very first mild when she opens her mouth to share how much she loves it, and her friends are responsive and they're asking questions, and they're talking to her like she's the expert, she literally just got permission to share about every other product she loves. And now she'll be comfortable piping up as it gets naughtier and naughtier and naughtier. Are you with me? Like, it works like a charm. And if you get the hostess to buy in, it's I don't care how great your demo is, she'll sell more product than you will. Because they trust you. Alright, so hostess quality document is definitely an option for you. It's a good way if you're struggling with outside orders and head count. It's kind of like a well-rounded, try to get everything in here. At one point, ours was like permanently listed with asking for a head count of 20. Nay, wipe that bad boy out because the magic number is 20. Now, the next two, magic number 20 and business partners, those are not documents, that's actually verbal. So, she's booked her party, she's chosen her date. Okay, you're like, oh my god, I'm so excited. We are now business partners. Your job, Katie, is to pack the house with people that are fun and love to shop. My job is to show them such a good time that they're talking about your party all year long. You know what I just did there? I said, it's my business, not a hobby. And people are going to be talking about how amazing your party was all year. And now, again, remember, the inclusion, the I want to be the best, I want to be part of something amazing, just skyrocketed. That's what they want. They want, nobody ever sets out and comes to you and says, I want to host the smallest party you've ever had. Right? No one ever sets out to host a dud. They want to host a great party. Some of your hostesses are going to come and be like, what's the biggest party you've ever had? I'm going to beat it. And you're like, Yahtzee, right? Like, you're like, this woman's on it. Whether she beats it or not, she has the right mindset. Like, she really wants to host a rager, and that's what you're looking for. So, we're business partners, that's what you do. Once you know that you're business partners and she nods and you get her buy-in to, yes, we're business partners and that's my job. And you also just made it really easy, by the way. Her job is easy. Pack the house with people. Not clean your house, not make that nothing has to be matchy-matchy. You don't have to have decorations, I mean, none of it. Because some women literally won't host because they think that it's supposed to be this big blowout. I actually hate when my hostesses do the whole matchy-matchy labels on their food. I walk in and I'm like, oh, because it kills your bookings. Because girls who are not Martha think, well, if this is how it's supposed to be, I can't do that. My house isn't big and beautiful. I'm not a good cook. I don't have all these matching dishes. I'm broke. I can't afford all, I mean, like, they won't do it. I love when I walk in and it's a bag of Doritos, a plate of brownies, a bottle of rum, and a 2-liter of Coke. I'm like, done, we got a party, let's go. Because it's duplicatable. They can do it anybody. They walk in, they're like, no problem, I can totally do this. Right? So, for business partners, you're going to look her in the eye and say, the magic number is 20. With 20 guests, you're going to have a killer shopping spree. Your friends are going to have more fun because the energy will be high, and they all kind of feed off each other when that happens. And I'm going to be able to pay my bills. Everybody wins. You see? Those 3 things. More free stuff for you. Better energy at your party. I get to pay my bills.
I'm getting in the car and taking it off.
Whatever number you say is what she'll remember. So if you say 10 to 15, she hears 10. If you say 15 to 20, she hears 15. When you say 20, it's the number that will stick. You'll actually have people that call you mildly panicked because they only have 17 people coming. And they're like, are you still going to come? And you're like, of course, right? Like, you're like, woo-hoo, 17 people, right? But she doesn't know that because you gave her a goal, and she feels like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to hit my goal. So one of the things you could do is, in my letter, bonus, an additional $50 hostess credit when you have 20 orders. I incentivize her. wanted to understand where she was coming from, why she wanted to work with me, and how I could make it better for her. So I created the hostess quiz. I'll show you in a second. The last thing that I want you to make sure that you put in your hostess packet, I do not care what you think about recruiting. I'm going to beg you to put an opportunity brochure in there. Someone thought enough of you to offer this opportunity. Shame on you if you think you deserve it more than they do. And that's what it says when you do not offer it to everyone. Your hostess is your #1 recruit lead. She clearly loves these products because she wants to see them again in her home. She wants to invite her friends and family to see these products. So even if you are terrified of having a team, let's say the extreme of this is she comes to you and says, I want to sign up, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't do it. You give her to your upline. Don't not offer this woman the ability to change her life because you're chicken. Because that's really what it boils down to. It's your fear and your ego that's stopping you from changing her life. Not awesome. I know nobody in this room is that selfish. So put that in there. Let her see what she's missing out on. You'll be stunned how often they'll ask little questions about the cute brochures that we have. All right, so this is a 40 guys in 4 minutes, just to kind of give you an idea. It has categories. So you're like 4 relatives, 4 friends, 4 coworkers, 4 neighbors, 4 churches, social group contacts, blah, blah, blah. It's just, it jogs their memory. That's all it does. Are you going to have people who are like, I go to church? You're like, no problem, put 4 extra relatives in there. You know what I mean? Like, some people just can't think past what's actually written there. But at least you're giving them an idea. You're making them think beyond their immediate circle of friends. Now, this is the confirmation letter. This is the other document for hostess coaching that I created from scratch many years ago. Because I felt like I needed a professional way to say, yes, you actually booked a party, and I'm coming to your house. Because some women get kind of bullied into it by hostesses or whatever, and they really aren't in it. You don't want those girls. They will kill your business. They are so much harder to work with if they're not excited. This letter will eliminate the people who were super drunk and just got excited about a little goodie bag or whatever, or the ones who were bullied and weren't really into it, or when they actually figure out that yes, they're going to have to get rid of their family and clean their house and do all this stuff, they decide it's too much work. Okay, too much work, it's not for you, that's fine. This letter will say, yep, I'm in, or no, I'm not. And the one line at the bottom of this thing will get that, the cancellation.
They're really loud,
which is what you want. It's not a cancellation, that's a gift. Somebody books a party with you last night, and they get this letter, and they're like, oh, I just can't do it. And they send you a quick text message, like, I'm really sorry, I'm sorry I missed the party, but I just can't do it. No problem. Thank you for letting me know. That's it. Because you can rebook that date. In my opinion, a cancellation is within the week of the party. Within 7 days of the party. That is a cancellation. This girl, you haven't invested a single moment in. You haven't invested a penny in her. So it's a gift. So don't be rah about the women that do that. God bless you. They're just their clients that aren't ready to host that. The last line says, if for any reason you need to reschedule your party, I respectfully request that you give me at least 3 weeks notice to allow for the rescheduling of that date. Your business is very important to me, and this is how I support my family. That one line makes them say, okay, I'm not really serious about this, I shouldn't do it. Right? Awesome. Also, make sure that you're showing them what they get. The hostess program is what those bullets are. A lot of women don't book and don't hold because they don't understand your hostess program. So we're going to talk about that in the party. It needs to be really easy to explain and to understand. Not complicated, not 700 levels of things. Like, they just get it. You host and you get this, and that's all there is to it. All right, the hostess quiz. So typically about 4 or 5 days after they pick their date, I will Facebook message or email, depending on what they prefer, this to them. This is something else that I created. So, dear Sally, super excited for your party on June 25th. That's right, too. Please take a moment to answer these questions. Real fast, what's your so fun. Can you do that at my party? Of course. Or, listen, I took that jelly to Wilton home and we hated it. I would really rather you not show it at the party. No problem. Even if it's my #1 selling toy, if she requests that I don't show it, I don't show it. Because she's going to bitch about it in front of them anyway. You're not going to sell a single one. So show something else. But respect her wishes because, again, it's her home and her party. So make it what she wants it to be. What is your preferred method of communication? And then #6 seems kind of random until you have a hostess that falls off the face of the planet. You're like, I thought we were doing good, I thought she was excited, and now she's not responding. I've called her, I've texted her, I've emailed her, I've Facebooked her, and poof, I got nothing. She could be on holiday. And y'all over here, you holiday a lot. Okay, you do. Like, you vacation a lot. So you need to know when she's traveling. Maybe she travels for work. Like right now, I know there are text messages that are not coming through. I am terrified to hit U.S. soil and see what I've missed for the last 8 days. But not everybody is on top of putting up a vacation reminder. So if they haven't done that and you think, well, I guess this lady's blowing me off, I'm going to double book her date. Then you end up in the situation that I was in January where you have 2 very good hostesses and now you have to pick, and that stinks. So quick little answer to that question will eliminate it as an issue. Now, these 6 documents are in your hostess coaching toolbox. You will never, ever, 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 ever send all 6 of these to one hostess. Never. But they are all different, and they all help you to kind of pick and choose and customize your coaching based on what's going on with your individual hostesses. Typically, you find that you're going to, a hostess will get 2 of these, okay? So 40 guests in 4 minutes, almost all hostesses get that. Once in a while, I have an annual hostess that just hosts a rager every single time. I am not going to make her fill this out again because I know she's on top of it. She doesn't judge. She invites every friggin' woman that she knows, including the random people she meets on the street. And I have 2 of those that are like, it never fails. The hostess is like, I'm sorry, where did I meet you again? I met you at the post office. I'm like, oh my God, total stranger in your house. Tale of Two Hostesses is a really cutesy little poem about Patty and Mary, 2 different hostesses. Patty is the wild, I don't care how many people are here, we don't need chairs, put out the 2-liter soda. That's Patty. Mary is the girl that needs all the chairs. She doesn't want to invite more people than she has places for booties. She wants everything to be matchy-matchy. It kind of passive-aggressively says, you want to be Patty, okay? So we'll lighten up a little bit and let's be Patty. So if you have the kind of high-maintenance hostess, this is the one that goes to her. Party time. Party time is for your girl like my 2 hostesses that host every single year. It's literally just a quick reminder right before the party to say, I'm going to show up at this time, I'm bringing all my stuff, make sure your dude's out of the house, blah, 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 blah. So kind of a housekeeping checklist, but it's right before, a few days before the party. Call them and they will come is, again, kind of a cutesy little poem that I specifically use with people that use paper invitations. So if you have an old school hostess who's, especially my teachers, like sometimes because they only have work emails, they don't want to use those, so they would rather use paper. No problem. But if you send out a bunch of paper invitations and only hear back from half of them, the other half, I mean, who knows if they even got it? Unless you physically handed it to them, you don't even know if they got their invitation. So they need to call and follow up. My hostesses who make these phone calls are consistently the ones who have $3,000 plus parties. There is something about a personal phone call that says, I hope you're coming, I'm super excited to see you on Saturday night, this party is going to be so fun, that works better than texting, emailing, Facebooking. I mean, nothing works as well as an individual phone call. So if you can get them to buy in to pouring themselves a glass of wine and hunkering down for half an hour to call these people, they're going to have a better turnout. It just, the way that we are, we like the individual attention. Hostess foreplay, again, we're all kind of familiar with, that's there on COO. And then the hostess with the mostess. This is a great document for your hostess who has never hosted any kind of in-home party before, especially a younger girl who's doing this for the first time. Like, she has no clue what the etiquette is for in-home parties. It really breaks it down like line item by line item, okay? You're gonna invite people, we're gonna send out reminders, you're gonna need to get some snacks, too salty, too sweet, nothing that requires a fork or has a heavy sauce. Like, it's really, really down and dirty, basic kind of bulleted items, but it makes it comfortable for her because, again, Some women won't host because they're afraid they do it wrong. So if you make it really, really easy for her, she'll host for you again and again and again. She just needs to be told and you're managing her expectations. And all those documents will be posted. Now, how do we invite them? So there's lots of different ways to skin a cat when it comes to inviting. Some of them are way more effective than others. Paper invites. PR obviously has beautiful, pre-printed, gorgeous invitations. Do you need to create your own? No. Knock it off. Save your printer ink, okay? Like, it makes me crazy when I see all these hearts and stars and hot nonsense that some people are creating. First of all, we spend a tremendous amount of income for this company creating beautiful, professional marketing tools. You're branding yourself. When you create something crazy, oh gosh, y'all, seriously, like, it's just a waste of your time. Don't do it, just use what they have. Unfortunately, Anybite literally closed its doors about 10 days ago, which is a huge bummer, because that's what I've been using exclusively for the last 3 years. That's what you get when it's a free service, I guess. Evite.com is also a free service. They have a few more limitations, but it's a decent invite service that you can use, and I'm pretty sure you can still access it here. Have you guys, anybody ever used Evite over here? No? Okay. The online PR party system, I know that tech support is actually working diligently to make sure that this is easier to use and does not bounce into spam as often as it has been in the past. So that's improving on a monthly basis. Facebook, I know a lot of us are using Facebook for invites. It is, quite frankly, one of the most ineffective ways to create a party. It's just fast and easy, and it's widely used. So your hostesses are going to want to kind of make it a go-to. Here's what I'm going to suggest that you do, and I've done this for the last 6 months. It was kind of a leap of faith, but one of the girls on my team came up with it, and it made sense to me, and I really attribute my huge January to this. So instead of creating a normal Facebook invitation, I want you to create a secret group for your hostess and her guests. You guys are all probably in groups right now with your team, or maybe in a PR marketing group or whatever. Everybody, yeah? Some kind of group you're in?
Yep.
Okay. So you're going to create a group, super easy to do, really fast. You're going to title it your hostess's name. So Becky's Pure Romance Party, March 7th. That's the title of the group. You invite her. It's a secret group, so only she and you can now see it. And then she can add her guests. Quick and easy. Once she adds the guests, then you create an invite inside the group. Here's why. So when you create a regular Facebook invitation, and if you go into your events, you have like 300 invitations to the most random things in there, which is why nobody uses them. They're not effective. But unless you RSVP yes or maybe to an event, you will never see another notification for that event. Do you know that? Never. You get nothing. You could literally post in the event that every product is free for everyone that shows up, and no one will get it unless they have replied yes or maybe. So all the cute little memes and games and messages that you guys are posting in there, when there's 4 people that have said yes, they're the only ones seeing it. The 300 other people that she invited never even see it. It's not effective. It's a dead invite. However, when you create the group, every single new post in that group, every member will get. Do you see? That was a joygasm for me when I heard that. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God, right? Like, it was good. And it's true. And the cool thing is that they'll interact more. I mean, I post videos of myself. I'm like, hey girl, super excited to see you, blah, 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 blah. I'm kind of a goof. Like, sometimes I post pictures where I'm fully made up, and sometimes I post, I got my ball cap on, I'm at the field with my kids. I'm relatable. I'm not the shady dildo lady. I look like Susie Homemaker. You know what I mean? Like, I want them to be comfortable with me before they ever walk in. Because sometimes they'll withhold whether they're coming or not to decide based on the tone of the invite and the communication. But when they see that you're fun and you're professional and you're excited, they're way more likely to make the effort that it takes to get there, whether it's getting a sitter, changing their plans, etc., etc. The only communication that I do is in the group, not in the event. The event is there in the group strictly to keep head count. That's it. And you can literally, when you open up the event in the group, copy and paste the URL, and occasionally post it in the group and be like, if you haven't RSVP'd yet, take a minute because it's going to help us with the head count. We just need to know so we have enough snacks, right? Oh my gosh, y'all, seriously? It's so effective. It works like a charm. Okay, and then texting. Texting is not something that I would recommend that you do exclusively. It's better for like reminders and follow-up. Definitely not just during the planning, but follow-up after the party. And I can show you guys, I didn't have the opportunity to upload it because I haven't figured out how to use the map, sorry. But I can show you guys after the fact a couple of the red stamps that I have created. We'll get to one of them in a second. They are super, super, super cute and really easy to use, and your hostess will love them. They work like a charm. Now, the bottom line is no matter what invitation system you're using, you control the wording.
This is the wording I
Because
use.
if you don't, that is when the invitation gets fired out to 300 people that says what? Sex toy party!
Always says that.
And you're like, oh. Because for real, at least 50% of the people, if not 90%, that are on that invite just went like this and twitched because they're like, oh my god, I just got something in my inbox that said friggin' sex toy party, right? It's not good. Nobody wants this. So present it as a gift to your hostess. When you do the follow-up call where you're like, I just want to confirm your address and I'm going to send up, I'm going to create your invitation for you. All you have to do is put your people into it. Present it as a gift. I'm doing you a favor. I'm giving you a service. She's going to be thankful. Nobody is creative with their invites. They actually look at that as a chore, creating the wording. They don't know what to say. So when you're like, don't worry, girl, I got it all covered. I go, copy and paste. Done. I change the name. That's it. Okay? Then she's like, oh my gosh, that's so easy. Thank you. And boom, she puts the people in and done. Easy. Whereas if she's busy and you leave it up to her to create the invite, it gets put off, and it gets put off, and it gets put off, and then she's like, you know what?
But
It's
she
just
didn't
gonna be
notice
too much.
someone
I
else
can't
did,
do
so
it.
it was
We'll
okay.
have to reschedule, or worse yet, we'll cancel. But when you do the work for her, she's in like, then you're done. And once that invitation is out, the ball is rolling, and you're good to go. This is where we need to get to. You need the invite to go out. By the way, anybody ever done a party that where you were like basically entertainment? People wouldn't really shop. Okay, that's the worst, right?
Yeah.
That's when you have a hard time maintaining your composure, where you're like, I'm not a stripper, like I'm here to make some money, right? The last line of my invite wording, Hunter's Pure Romance loudly accepts cash, good checks with ID, Visa, and MasterCard. That will eliminate the I'm just coming for, the cocktails. They're like, oh, okay. And frankly, I'd rather do a party of 5 women that shop and hook up the hostess than 20 people party where 19 of them come to eat her food, drink her booze, and do not help her with the hostess program. Because now, not only are you mad, she is hurt. She's resentful of all these people that she thought were her friends. So the whole, the vibe that revolves around your party is negative. And it's bad. Nobody wants that kind of juju. So put that in there. Don't be afraid. Frankly, people need to know what forms of payment you take. Because when they come and they fall in love with it and they only have a $20 bill on them because they didn't realize they were actually shopping that night, they're annoyed. They're frustrated. Okay, so raise your hand if you are currently using Red Stamp or at least have heard of it. Oh God, this market is using it. Yahtzee! Okay, so, gosh, the other markets were like, crickets chirping. Okay, so, Red Stamp, amazing. Those of you that have no idea what I'm talking about, it's an app. You can also actually get on the laptop and use it, so either way, I prefer the app because it saves right to my phone. And you can literally create customized images that save as an image, just like a picture on your phone in your camera roll, that you can then text, Facebook, or email to your hostess. It's brilliant. I actually had a moment of clarity 2 weeks ago for a party, and I had 2 besties that were hosting as co-hostess, and I knew they would have a picture of themselves in their Facebook. So I went in and found a picture of the 2 of them like hugging up on each other, and I put that there instead of the
Can
bottom.
be edited.
And when I sent it to them, they were like, oh my God, it's so cute, we love it! And they had a $2,800 party because they fired that out the last minute, and people were like, what, that's so cute, you guys are adorable. Like,
Do you just go send?
the stuff that we get excited about, Sometimes you're like, whatever, but it really does make a difference. Women love the cutesy pootsy. So don't be afraid to embrace your inner Martha a little bit and get creative. The cool thing is it's free. Like you can play with this as best as you can't hurt it. And for those of you who are like, I think it's cool, I just don't really understand how it works. At the end of my live party when we're all done, I'm happy to stay after for a couple of minutes and just show you a couple of really cool things that it took me months to figure out. But once I figured it out, it's fast, like super fast. You can fire these suckers out in seconds. Okay? All right. Now, you're going to send out reminders, not just to the hostess, but you're going to communicate with the guests. This is how you're making sure that you're managing their expectations. And you're going to find the 3 blurbs that I show you next that a lot of the information is duplicated. That's intentional, y'all. We need to hear things 7 times before it actually sinks in. Yes, we are dense, okay? Like it's just how it is. Mostly it's because we're busy and we're so inundated with information that our brains can only absorb so much. So don't be afraid to reiterate things. You're basically saying the same thing in a different way. Ultimately, I send this out 2 weeks before the party, and typically, just so you guys know, I don't book parties more than 4 weeks out, unless it's a really specific event, like a bridal shower or something where they have a really specific date, birthday party. Otherwise, I'm booking right now. So like if you look at my April calendar, it's got all kinds of parties on it. May, I think, has 2, because I didn't want to book in May, I needed to book in April, right? So try to limit how far out you're booking. The ones that you book way out are the ones that are going to cancel because they lose their enthusiasm long before they can ever get to the party. So 2 weeks out, I send a quick message that says, hey, I'm so excited to see you, blah, blah, blah. This is all about you. Bring a friend for a free gift. 3 friends will get you a free toy. This has been my policy for years. My longtime clients remind their friends. They're like, load the car, y'all, because you're going to get a free toy from this woman. So here's how it works. And I'm very, very honest. I'm always straightforward because I don't want anybody to feel like it's shady. So you bring a friend that places an order, I'm going to give you a gift. Sometimes it's, like we have Penis lipsticks, which you guys don't have, so it's a $2 item. They're really super cute.
Little sensuality sticks.
Penis lipsticks, and then there's also something else. Oh, we have little 1-ounce coochies, travel coochies.
No.
You guys have those?
No.
Oh.
We don't have anything that's
Start complaining. Just kidding. They're so, I love it. I'm like, you like my travel coochie? It's so cute. So 1-ounce coochie, they're great. It costs a couple of dollars. So at a minimum, they're getting that. But let's say that Katie brings a friend that placed a $500 order. Like I'm giving her a full-size bottle of something. And I do like to give them a choice because of course women like choices. So pick 2 items that you have good stock in and just give her a choice of something that she likes, right? But at a minimum, they get a little $2, $3 item. Now, the people that bring 3 friends, especially, and it's always the girl who brings them that asks in the middle of the party, what's my toy? I look at her and I'm like, which friends did you bring? And she's like, this one, this one, this one. They're like, they're raising their hands. And I'm like, okay, girls, you guys come in and you shop with me first. Katie, the better their orders, the bigger your toy. I'm not rewarding her for bringing live bodies that eat food and do nothing for the hostess. So what is awesome, I love when she brings 3 friends and only 2 are placing orders, and the girl's like, for real? Why'd you come? Right? So she's now putting a little pressure on that 3rd one, like, oh, you're seriously stopping me a toy? Don't be so cheap, right? Like, she's putting a little pressure on her, and so the girl at a minimum is going to come in and get like a bottle of coochie or something, and that counts. But sometimes this girl has literally resuscitated the party because she brought the party. When you've got someone that brings people, and it's $1,000 of orders just from her friends, give her a good toy. Do not give her a $20 bullet. Give her a good one. Because now, she's going to do it again. First of all, at a minimum, you should be booking her because clearly she's excited and she brought them there. But frankly, you should be signing her because she's so excited about the products that she promoted all these people to come with her. So, and again, minimum booking, ideally, you're talking to her about the business. 4 or 5 days before the event, this is particularly effective if, again, you've got a bunch of people that are like sitting there that haven't RSVP'd yet. Just to say, hey, by the way, can you stop being rude and actually RSVP? Oh, by the way, there is such a thing called party cards. You guys know what it is?
Yeah.
So you can invited to a lot of events. When you don't reply to an event, you can assume for everyone you don't reply to, 5 guests at your parties will not reply. Set the example for the people that you know and reply immediately. P.S. Maybes suck. They do. Like, I wish it wasn't even an option. You're a yes or you're a no, and that's all there is to it. Like, a maybe is a polite no. That's really what it is. They're afraid to say no, they're afraid of hurting feelings. So please, if you can't be polite enough to RSVP, how can you possibly expect the guests at your parties to do it? You have to set the tone. 24 hours of the event, before the event, I have a quick little housekeeping list. Okay, so the first one, you're not carrying inventory, you're going to need to delete this because this one says that you have stock. Number 1, it reminds them again of the payment options that we can use. Number 3, reminds them about bringing friends and getting free toys. Number 4, addresses those that can't make it. So if you can't make it, you can certainly place an order or you can book a party. And number 5, reiterates the no men or children of any age rule that we have. Yes, it's a really, really fast and hard rule. And if anybody wants to talk to me about it because you don't agree with it, I'm happy to explain to you why you're wrong. And then it says you start at 7 o'clock sharp or whatever time it is, so that you might want to arrive early. You'll notice that every single one of these have all of my contact information at the bottom of them. You want them to see this constantly. You know that people will not scroll down to find stuff, right? Like, we're so lazy, we literally won't scroll even on Facebook to find your website. It should be on every single post, because if it's not at their fingertips, they won't use it. We're so lazy. Okay, so Jedi mind tricks for hostess coaching. So we already talked about the after the 40 guests in 4 minutes on the spot. Works like a charm, and right off the bat, you're going to show them how to do hostess. This next one is also really cool. It's kind of a bizarre little psychological cue. So have you ever noticed that if you send out an invitation, and for whatever reason she gets a whole bunch of no's right off the bat, the invite is dead. No one will ever respond yes. Have you noticed? It's bad, right? You're like, just delete the event. Let's start over because it's dead. There, again, it's the inclusion thing. Like, if it looks like a dud event, even if they wanted to go, they're not going to be the first person to reply yes. So the way to eliminate this as a problem is to tell your hostess that you want to send out the invite first to her top 5 friends that she knows are coming. Fire it out immediately. Send them a quick text message that says, hey, I just sent you the invite. Can you please reply yes now? When they do, you got yes, 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 yes. Then she sends it to everyone else. When they open it and they see all these yeses, they're like, right? They're like, I need to go to this. Now they're frustrated if they can't go. And that's when you get the no's like, oh my gosh, I'm so bummed I can't be there. And you're going to have way more yeses because it looks like they're missing out on something if they can't go. Works like a charm. Okay, so payday. How many of you have or are doing parties for paycheck to paycheck groups? Literally, like, they cannot shop if they do not have pay week. Okay, if you've never done one, you will. We all do. And that's okay. You can have a treat. Is that another water thing? Oh, mints? Ah, don't worry about it. Listen, don't throw Tic Tacs at your sisters, okay? All right. Here's what I want you to do, okay? So, for us, typically we have 2 paydays in a month. Is that the same here? Okay. So, sometimes it's the 1st and the 15th, sometimes it's every 2 weeks, whatever. Ultimately, the paycheck at the beginning of the month is gone. It's spent before they get it. And it goes where? Bills. So, like, it's a done deal. But the one in the middle of the month has leeway. So when you have a client, you're at a party, and it's pretty clear that they're paycheck to paycheck, and you'll know because they come in and they're like, it's not pay week, I can't shop, right? When someone comes in and they want to book at that party, ask her, when is your next mid-month pay week? Book her then. I would rather see you do Friday night, 3 Saturday, 2 Sunday of that weekend, and don't do parties the rest of the month. Because they'll all have money. You can do 6 parties like that. But if they don't have money, A, they're frustrated. Your hostess is frustrated because she cleaned her house, she got rid of her family, she put out food, but her friends can't shop, and you can't blame them because you can't squeeze blood from a turnip, right? That's a very American term, isn't it? Do you guys even have turnips here? No. You can't squeeze blood from a dragon fruit. There you are. Yes, those are delicious.
Stone.
Yes, those are delicious.
Yeah, we got more
they're the
turnips
coolest
than
looking
dragon
fruits on the
fruit.
planet. I've been eating them like it's my job. You guys, I'm gonna end up moving here. You watch. I freaking love this place. Okay, so Pokemon picking, really like it's gonna save you so much headache too. Like it's just such a drag when you have people that are excited about the products and they can't shop. We talked about the whole Facebook group concept. When you have the Facebook group, post products on a regular basis. Now, if the party is 4 weeks or more out, you don't want to do it daily because it just kind of burns them out when they get closer to it. So every 4 to 5 days for the first 2 weeks, and then the last 2 weeks before the party, every other day, post something. I do not recommend that you post pictures or information about toys. They want to see the toys, they come to the party. You don't want to scare anybody before they get there. Stick to the mild products. I also love, depending on the crowd, you'll kind of get a vibe for them after the first couple of days they're on there and how they respond. Some of the little memes that get them interacting. I do most of my hostess coaching on Mondays. So like Monday before I left, I sent out the same meme in all of my events. And it was if you woke up tomorrow morning and had the opposite sex genitals, what's the first thing you would do? The answers are so funny. And I mean, the most conservative women are like the dirtiest. Like it's so funny. They're like, it's BJ Central, right? Like, so get them posting stuff where they're already giggling. Like they're seeing how fun it is. They see that there's a splash of naughty, but it's still tasteful, right? Have fun with them. Because again, they're going to be more comfortable coming to the party, already knowing a little bit about your personality and your vibe. Okay, so this is fun. Contact the no's. What are you doing with all the people on your invites that are no's? Are you just going and like not communicating with them anymore? No! You contact them the day of the party and say, I'm so sorry that you can't join us tonight. And again, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. Okay, don't retype all this. I'm so sorry you can't join us tonight. The party's really going to be a blast. Just in case you were wondering, you can definitely support Becky, the hostess, by shopping. Here's my website. Don't hesitate to private message me if you have questions. Better yet, when you look at these products and you see how cool they are, let's do a party for you and you'll be the one that gets the free shopping spree. Here are all my hostess perks. And bullet, done. Is everybody going to respond? No. But if you did that for every single party, you had 8 in a month, and 1 placed an order or booked a party. Was it worth the 3 seconds it took you to copy and paste it?
Yeah.
Yes, because you would never have laid eyes on those people otherwise, right? That's a whole category of women missing, only because of schedule, not because of anything you've done wrong. Paycheck, crowd. We went through. When you're posting the little memes in there and the pictures and stuff, and it requires a response, have them, when you post it, say, I'd love to see your response and tag a friend too. Because then they put their response and they're tagging somebody else that's in there. And it draws people into the conversation who maybe were just kind of overwhelmed and didn't see the notification or whatever. Now, last thing, when do we call them? Remember I said that we're doing parties with live women, right? Like you need to actually communicate with them. It's really important that you hear and that she hears tone of voice. Because there is something lost in translation when you type things out. Like it's just the way that it is. I don't care how many smiley faces and exclamation points you use. If she perceives what you're saying to have a negative tone, you're going to have a problem. So particularly when there's like you're struggling with head count or whatever, you call. So I called the day after booking in the rain. Hey girl, met you last night. Super excited. You booked a party on March 28th. I just wanted to touch base and A, make sure that date still works, and B, confirm your address. Just ask her. The day the invitation goes out, I like to send her a quick voicemail or call her, and oftentimes it is voicemail, just again, so she can hear my enthusiasm and say, just wanted to make sure you got the e-bite that I sent you. All you have to do is click here and kind of walk her through how she adds her people. 2 weeks before the show, I do the, hey, so how are your products doing for you? I want to know how her previous products are rolling. Because if there's any problems or user error or whatever, you need to fix that before you walk into her house. Because she needs to like her products. If she doesn't love her products, she will not be a motivated hostess. Anytime your headcount is suffering, you call her. Do not text her. Do not Facebook her. do not email her. You pick up the phone and you call. And it is absolutely imperative that you say to her, hey girl, so I saw that the invite went out to a handful of people, especially if she didn't send it out to enough. I just wanted to check in and see how else you're inviting people. Because clearly she's inviting them some other way. Like, you have to assume that she's not just inviting 10 people. If she says, no, I'm only inviting 10 people, ask her why. Can I ask why? Like, is there a reason that we're limiting this? Because I am concerned that you're going to have people that bail the night of the party and your party's going to evaporate. So talk to her about it. When she hears your voice and you're professional and you're not being greedy, like you're worried about her party, she's going to tell you what's going on. But if you try to have that conversation with her in electronic form, it never goes well. And you're going to end up with a cranky hostess who probably will cancel just because she doesn't like you, which is not effective, right? Okay. In my opinion, a party is not confirmed until there are at least 5 guests that have said yes and coming. So if we send out this invitation 4 weeks in advance, we get 2 weeks out, and there's a whole bunch of no's, 3 maybes, and like 2 yeses. I double book her. That's the day that I need to work. I have specific days that I am available to work. I'm guessing you do too. And the chances that that party is going to resuscitate, it's not impossible, but it's pretty slim. Particularly considering 3 to 5 bail the night of the party. So, double book her, but go back to that hostess and say, okay girl, so it looks like this invitation has gone flat for whatever reason. Like, do you have any idea why we're getting all these no's? Is there a conflict with the event? Is it just a timing thing? Blah, 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 blah. Sometimes she comes back and she's like, there are no's on there, but I have a whole bunch of people that I work with that I know are coming, or they just haven't responded, or whatever. And she's confident. If she's confident, you gotta go with it. She's on it, right? Sometimes people are just weird and they don't respond on the invite. If she's like, I don't know, and you can clearly tell that she's distraught about her head count, you're gonna give her 2 choices. Okay, so we have 2 choices. Really, it would be great if we could hold this specific date, because the people who are excited to come, we don't want to cancel on that. So why don't we do this? Can you call each of the people who said that they're coming and ask them if they can bring 2 friends in their car? Be very specific. Ask for 2. 3 can be pushing it. 3 is typically someone who's already excited about it and they're going to bring 3. 2 is manageable. They can do it. A sister and a neighbor. A coworker and a playgroup friend. You know what I mean? Like, they'll be able to figure it out. But when the hostess specifically asks, can you bring 2 people with you? She'll know, because if people are saying no, she's going to come back to you and be like, I tried and I couldn't get anybody to do it. And at that point, the party's done. Like, you're done, she'll know it, she'll end up either rescheduling or canceling entirely. But at least you've tried. A lot of times, though, when she makes that phone call, again, the personal phone calls make a huge difference. She can go from 3 people to 9 people like that because she's making these calls. So don't give up if she doesn't want to give up. If she's checked out, she's like, I don't know, it's just not going to happen. Oh, like, she's just, you can tell by her tone of voice that she's not with it. Then just give her the out and be like, listen, I want this to be what you want it to be. So if it's not turning out the way that you wanted it, you have the option of canceling or rescheduling. Just give her the out. Some women are just afraid of hurting your feelings or whatever. Do it 2 weeks out so that you can rebook that date. A week. And then I call her the day before the show to confirm directions, make sure that she understands that I need to park really, really close to her front door so it's easy to unload. And during this phone call, I say, so, where's the family going during the party? Ask. Because I'll bet you a nickel she thinks she's hiding them in the basement. Right? You need to know before you walk in. It's so much easier to have that awkward conversation on the phone than it is face-to-face when it's like the 11th hour and now she's screwed because she has no sitter, hubby doesn't want to leave the house, and you're really put in an awkward position. Because there's all bets are off. Like, if there's men or children on the premises, there is no party. It's not happening. Deal with it ahead of time. Reminders, do the work for your hostess. My hostesses, by the way, that use paper invitations, I don't give them blank invitations. I actually pre-print them with her information on them. I have a printer that feeds through. Before I had that printer, when I was poor, I used Avery labels. Slapped it on there with all of her party information and gave it to her. She's far more likely to use them if the work is already done. You hand her 50 blank invitations, you will show up to her house and find 48 blank invitations sitting on her kitchen counter and be annoyed and you're like, okay? Feeling the bitchy back. Okay. Weekly reminders about RSVPing, bringing friends. literally, the whole thing before a party is less than 20 minutes total. And it's not 20 minutes at a lump. It's 2 minutes here, and 30 seconds there, and 3 minutes here, like it's fast. So the only people that can ever grumble are those that are doing 15 to 20 parties a month. Those of you that are doing 3 to 4 parties a month, cry me a river, do your friggin' hostess coaching, okay? It's not that big of a deal. Make sure your hostess knows that it's completely normal to have 3 to 5 cancel the night at a party. It really is. And if she knows that ahead of time, she won't get her feelings so hurt when it happens. And it's gonna. And it's just, especially during flu season, it's just the way it is. Remind her to work the crowd for bookings. Let her know. She knows her friends best. She knows who the party girls are. Ask her. Say, ultimately, you get a free gift when you have 3 new parties that are booked at your party. So, A, if there's somebody coming to your party that you know is a party girl, let's get her excited about booking before I even show up. And B, if you have people that can't come to your party that want to book, they can. So I need their contact information, and I'll get them booked before your party. Get her working for you. And then remind her to hype up products that she loves. Okay, so I do a hostess huddle right before the party. I go and I'm like, just can I borrow you for 2 seconds? Literally right before we start. People are sitting down, they're getting settled. I bring up party assistant, which I'll talk about here in a second. She's passing out catalogs, blah, 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 blah. I pull the hostess to the side in the quiet part of her house and say, okay, so I'm literally like this, okay? I kind of bend over, she bends over, it looks kind of weird, but it really works. I'm like, I'm really super excited about this. We're going to have so your crowd is so fun already. So do you have any last minute questions for me? Anything you're concerned about? Anything. Sometimes she's like, well, I just need to make sure you look like she just will tell you whatever she's concerned about. 9 times out of 10 it's going to be, no, I'm good, great. Okay, so it's super important that you stop being the hostess right now. Now I just want you to have fun. Sit down, have a glass of wine, laugh, enjoy your friends. Do not be getting up before the night. Get up, get up, and worry about whether they have food. Don't do any of that. Because if you're up, they think it's okay to get up, and it's so distracting to people that are trying to have fun. So just sit and relax and hang out. Are we good with that? Yes. As long as you give her permission to do that, she doesn't feel like she's being a slappish hostess. And the last thing I do is I'm like, is there any dish about your guests that I should make? Now, sometimes you're going to have very conservative women who are like, no, not really. And I'm like, okay, let's do this. And then I go on. Well, once in a while, actually more than once in a while, pretty frequently, especially if you've connected with your hostess and she's a recruit lead, you're going to be like, yeah, okay, so the lady in the pink brought a bag, new boyfriend, sex 4 times a day, that's all she can talk about. So she's going to be all over your grill. And then the girl over here in the red, she's now married to the ex-husband of the girl in the yellow. I can't believe they're both here in my house. It's unbelievable. Like, she'll literally give you such scoop about her people, and you will then be able to target products, comfort level. Like, it's unbelievable what she will tell you when you have a quick hostess huddle that makes it easier for you to relate. They're going to think you have friggin' ESP. They will have no idea how you know to hit the nerve in them with certain products. But it's because of your hostess. And the hostess sees the dish are strong recruit leads, even if they don't realize it. They are comfortable enough with you, they have connected with you, that they would enjoy working with you. Does that make sense? Ooh, it works. Okay, questions on hostess coaching? Yes?
When you said you posted up pictures of products in the Facebook threads, what do you say with that picture?
So I don't say a whole lot because I use the pictures that have the words already. Somebody creative has made these things, I don't know if it's corporate or somebody else, where it's got like picture over here and then it has like bulleted features and ways to use it. That's the ones that I like to use. I like the ones that already have information. And you can just say, here's something really fun that a lot of my clients enjoy. I'll be showing this at the party. I hope you're excited to see it. Tag a friend. That's it. Keep it simple. Say again?
Where can we find them?
I find them on Facebook. They're nowhere in particular. Like, I steal them from people. Some of the marketing groups have them. Team leaders have them. Like, if you drill down in some of those Facebook groups into their photo section, there's all kinds of really cool little memes in there. Just go in them and steal them. Again, we're all about plagiarization. Yes?
You know how you're saying tag a friend? If you make an event on Facebook, does that mean it has to be an open event so that they can tag anybody? Otherwise, the hostess will have to...
They have to tag someone who's in the invite. Now, you can still have a private event but guests can add people.
That's the closed
It
band.
just means that people that are not on the list never see it. But the people who are in the list can still add people. So if they want to tag a friend that isn't there, they just add them and then tag them. Good question. Yes.
When your potential hostess is filling in the 40 guests,
Yes.
you said you give them a gift. Is that on top of their hostess gift as
It's
well?
literally like a foil pack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, something small, just a quick little immediate gratification kind of gift. Good question. Or like a Naughty Nights his and hers card, or a date night card, or something small. Yes.
So what is the repercussion for those who don't hold the party cancel and don't want to schedule as well? So you know how you talked about your 3 week notice?
Yeah.
You don't get off the cancellation because I'm sure these girls obviously have the most stretching this fiercely.
Mhm.
So for those of you who have experienced any type of last minute cancellations and don't want to reschedule, what is their repercussion? Like do you say you know
There's no repercussion except that I won't rebook them.
rebook them?
Yeah.
Do you let them know that?
On the second cancel, yes. Yes. They cancel on me twice and they're like, can I reschedule? I'm like, so I'm going to be really honest with you and tell you that I don't know that I'm the right consultant to do your party because twice you cancel and this is actually affecting my income at this point. So it may be better for me to find a more junior consultant for you that isn't quite so on top of their schedule. Like it's really, really unusual. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Somebody cancels last minute on you once, they're going to cancel on you again. I'm just going to be super honest with you. They do not respect your time. They probably don't even respect their own time. So in my opinion, when someone cancels on me and reschedules, first of all, if they cancel on a Friday or Saturday night, they do not get another Friday or Saturday night. I'm booked till kingdom come as far as they're concerned. They get a Monday. I'm serious. I'll tell her. Now, if she cancels then, I'm double booking any other date. I'll be like, yeah, you get a date. I've double booked her. There's already somebody else there. Because I know she's not going to hold. I know she's not. She's not on top of it. She, in her head, she thinks that she wants this, but she really doesn't. So it's the number of times that I have had 2 hostesses host on the same day successfully, I can count on one hand. Literally. They just don't. They don't respect your time, so don't sweat it. But no, there's no repercussion. It's not like, slap on the wrist, throw me a fine, blah, blah, blah. No. But I will tell you, I don't care if you have parties coming up next week, if you jump right into your hostess program and start hostess coaching them immediately, don't wait, you'll see a huge difference right off the bat. This works really, really fast and across the board. Yes?
So if you've got specific dates that you like to work, for example, I had someone cancel a party for the 10th of April. That we would be in 2 weeks, like less than 2 weeks away.
Yep.
How do you go about finding something to like fill that? Because 2
To
weeks,
fill in?
2 weeks is a lot of time for most people to.
Actually, most people know what their schedule is for the next 2 weeks far more than they know where they're going to be 4 weeks from now. So I would rather short date a party. So that is when I would go back to my VIP group or whatever and be like, I have a rare Friday night opening in 2 weeks. There's an additional $50 in hostess credit available. Who wants it? And I don't have to do it often, so it's not like it happens every single month and it's easy. You can't do it all the time. But again, like if you go and let's say you have a cancellation for 2 weeks from now, but you have a party tonight. Offer a kick-ass prize to whomever takes that party 2 weeks from now. Does that make sense? Yeah. The other thing I will tell you is that if you're mentally prepared to work on a specific night and you have a last-minute cancellation, guess what you do?
Work.
You work. You go shadow someone. Find out who has a party and go work. When you get in the habit, whatever schedule you want to keep, whether it's 1 party a week, 2 parties a week, 3 parties a week, whether you have those parties or not right now, start working the schedule that you want to work. Shadow, shadow, shadow. I don't care if you party, if you shadow 3 parties this week and 3 parties next week, when you get into the habit mentally of working the number of nights that you want to work, you will be stunned how your schedule will actually mold itself into what you want it to be. But if every time you lose a party, you don't work, you'll have less and less and less work. It's a weird thing, but it's true. So shadow, shadow, shadow. Now, really fast before I jump into my party, you guys, I was talking to Katie today. First of all, a huge thank you to Katie who took me to the beach today, to Katie's Park, all kinds of fun stuff. Very thoughtful. We were chatting about the fact that I not only have an office assistant, I have a party assistant. And it's not always the same person. It's typically someone from my team, but it just rotates based on who's available. And they come in and they help me unload and load my bags. They help with setup, they set up my lingerie. And then when the actual demonstration is done, they're up here still with all of my stuff. I leave everything on display, answering questions. They're basically being me while I'm in the shopping room checking people out. So they're answering the questions, they're doing upselling, they're doing cross-selling. So by the time my guests come into my shopping room, they already generally know what they want, and I can really focus heavily on booking and recruiting. I pay them, and they have an option. Our minimum wage is less than yours, so you have to just work with your minimum wage, but my girls have the choice of $10 an hour cash or $15 an hour product. So the worst case scenario that I'm giving away is $40. $40 is what I'm doing to get someone in there. My sales are higher because of them. I'm in and out faster because of them. They're getting trained, so their parties are better. I'm making more money on them because their parties are better. Do you see, again, the whole circle of life thing? Like, it's all related. I do not go to a party without an assistant and 2 shadows. Ever. You should have an entourage. You should. First of all, you roll in with a whole crew of people and they're like, damn, this lady's a badass. But the other thing is, once you get these girls excited and you've got like the quiet girl that didn't let you know she's a recruit lead, but she's watching, she literally sees that there are new girls there that are getting trained. So she's like, oh, well, that's how we learn how to do this. Easy, like, no problem. You know what I mean? So you're perpetuating it. Plus, if your girls are not watching your party, how do they know how to do a party? They don't. And it's a disaster. Their party's a disaster. So this is how we get trained. And I will tell you, all these years, I still go view someone's party every quarter, at a minimum. Every single quarter. Now, I go view new girls. I don't go view seasoned girls. The seasoned girls are probably going to do a party very much like me. I want to go see a new girl because A, I want to see if she's doing something wrong if she's on my team, because it's probably a pretty easy fix. But B, their enthusiasm is amazing. And it helps breathe new life into kind of an old dog's business. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so that was something that I guess is not very prevalent here, having a party assistant. Y'all, don't be cheap. You're literally tripping over dollars chasing pennies. It's silly. Definitely utilize the people that are around you. Train your team properly. All right, so the last thing for our evening, everybody hanging in there? Are your butts numb yet? Hang on. It's okay, hang in there. Do your duties. Okay, so I'm going to do my live party for you. Now again, please keep in mind that I do have other toys that I show, but the lotiony potion stuff, with the exception of the fact that we have a men's body wash, this is what I show at my party. It is not different, okay? So please don't feel like you're getting some dialed back party. It really isn't. As far as the toys are concerned, the only thing that's different, I showed the put a ring on instead of split decision. I showed GPS instead of Wanda, and I show the executive instead of Tom. So that's it. But again, like, it's the same concept. It's the same level of these things. Does that make sense?
Just like that?
Yes, it looks just like that. The only difference is that my toys are in a gun case. I carry my toys in a rifle case, a black and silver one. It's really flashy and pretty. But it's easy up, easy down. Does that make sense?
I had to ask.
Oh no, they're open. There, I open it, it's up, it's set, and ready to roll from the get-go. Yes, it all stays on the table. Yeah, man, come on up, don't show. Don't be shy. Come on up. Now, here's the other thing that's really important when I do this live party, y'all. It's very important to me that you don't get caught up in the party. Pay attention to the words that are coming out of my mouth, not the fact that it's funny or educational or whatever. I want you to pay attention to the order that I show stuff in. I want you to pay attention to the key phrases that I use to create the need for these products. I want you to pay attention to how I flow from one section to the next. I do 4 key speeches in my party: opening speech, lingerie speech, toy speech, closing speech. Pay attention to, you can almost see the bullet points as I do it. You don't have to get it word for word. You just need to know the points, the highlights that I'm hitting, so that you can do it for yourself. The one thing that you cannot wing is your recruiting speech. That is crafted. You must practice it. I literally used cue cards as a new girl. I had cue cards that had bullet points to make sure, and I said, I'm like, I have cue cards so I don't forget anything important. I don't care. Yo, I had to use cue cards when we transitioned last year. I had to start fresh. I was literally a new consultant again. You want to talk about a sobering experience? Be in business for 8 years and start from scratch. It was challenging, but it was also very helpful for me to see what my new girls are going through because I was so far removed from being new that I didn't realize just how challenging it can be. So don't be afraid to use cards. Now, when you're crafting your iStory, there's lots of little tools that are out there for you to use, but you need to practice it again and again and again and again. I used to say it when I was driving. I used to say it to myself in the mirror when I was putting on my makeup. When I started, I had a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and I was pregnant. And my 5-year-old, literally, at one point, I'm driving down the road, I got my minivan, cruising along, and she goes, "You forgot to say," because I left something out. Because I had said it so often that she knew my recruiting story. So that's how it should be. You should feel like, oh wait, I forgot to tell you something. Because it's that important. It's super, super, super important that that is consistent. The rest of it, all bets are off. Do whatever you want. Make it easy, fun, wing your demos. Some of that's going to be feeding off of the crowd, play off their comments, whatever. But otherwise, that one needs to be real consistent. The other thing, if you do a perfect party, and some of you probably do, because you've done so many of them, it's the exact same thing every single time, you're actually hurting your recruiting. Because they're looking at you going, God, she's so good at this, I couldn't do it like her. And you can say to them 1,000 times, you're not going to do it like me, you're going to do it like you. But it's not the case. So drop things, spill something, forget something, be like, oh my gosh, wait, go back. Because it makes you human. It makes it relatable, and it makes them go, oh, well, gosh, I mean, if she's been doing this for years, and she just screwed that up, anybody can do it, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, this is going to be mildly challenging because I'm up here, and normally I'm down there, and I actually rub. Like, I don't know how to fake the whole spraying and rubbing thing, so you're going to see me spraying and rubbing imaginary guests up here, so don't think I'm here. Okay, let me get into my frame of mind. Oh, I also am missing Mr. Dependable. Just be aware. So I will be using a Body Dew bottle instead of Mr. Dependable to show the super stretch. I know. To show the super stretch and the Jelly Tool Belt. But just please keep in mind that I don't normally use a bottle for that. All right, girls. So, you're going to be my hostess, okay? All right, girls. Who's ready to have some fun tonight? Can I see a show of hands if you've never been to a toy party before? Any first-timers? Oh, yay! I love my virgins. You guys are fun. Don't worry, I like my repeat offenders, too. Okay, so my name is Heather Pillow. Yes, it is my real name. And for tonight, I am going to be your resident expert. We're going to talk about everything from mild to wild and everything in between. You're going to laugh. You're going to learn. You're probably going to share because we're having cocktails, and that's okay. But the very first thing that I want to tell you is that we owe a huge round of applause to our naughty hostess. Give it up for Katie. Lots of participation. Thank you. Okay, so Katie came to a party and we met last month, and she thought, oh my gosh, my girls are going to love this stuff. P.S. She likes the idea of free sex toys. So we decided that we were going to have you girls over, right? So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to make sure that we hook Katie up. The more you guys shop, the more free products she gets. The bottom line, though, is that my hostesses don't pay full price for anything. So whether Katie wants one thing or 50 things, at a minimum, everything is 40% off. But the more you girls shop, the more freebies she gets. So I know it's good, right? Yeah, girl. Now, don't feel left out, because if you're looking through your wish list later and you're thinking, oh, Lord and Moses, I have a way for you to earn free products right now, immediate gratification. It's my VIP group. And then I also have the ability to give you the opportunity to be the next one to get the free shopping spree. So don't worry, we'll make that happen. Now, let me tell you a little bit about me so you don't think I'm the shady dildo lady that Katie, look at Katie, the shady dildo lady. That rhymes, that's so fun. Sorry, I digress. Okay, so I've actually been a consultant for many years in this business. I started as a guest of a guest. Is there anybody here that's a party crasher that has never been to a party before and was invited by a friend of a friend? Anyone? Okay, good, yay. That's so fun. So same thing, my girlfriend got I heard that and was like, oh my gosh, Dirty, we have to go. That's not going to happen, I promise. But I just thought it was really kind of a fun, cool, naughty thing to do. Ultimately, what I found out was that everybody's either having sex, they want to be having sex, and if they're having it, they probably want it to be more fun. So when we went to the party and I saw the big group, kind of a mixed bag of people that were all shopping, I decided that I wanted to host my own party and get all the free stuff. So I did it right before Valentine's Day, laughed, learned, just like you guys are going to, and ultimately, not only did I get a whole bunch of free stuff, but I found out that the woman that did exactly what you're going to watch me do tonight made more than $800 in 4 hours. And at the time, I was a stay-at-home mom of a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and I was 7 months pregnant. And I had 0 income. So $800 was a lot of money. It's still a lot of money, right? So I went home to my husband and I said, babe, I think I want to sell sex toys. And he's a smart guy, so he was like, great, how much do you need? And so I did. I jumped in 7 months pregnant. Of course, I was afraid. I had no idea what I was doing, but ultimately I had a really great sponsor who taught me, just like I do. And I just jumped in. And I wanted the money, I needed the income, I needed the fun, I needed the break, I needed to stop being mommy and Mrs. Pillow and actually be Heather again. So is anybody a stay-at-home mom like I was? Oh my gosh, okay, like hardest job you'll ever love, right? I get it. Now, the flip side of that is that a lot of women on my team actually work a full-time job. So they make great income at their job, but they typically end up having more month than money. It's expensive to live where we are. Sometimes you just have dreams that you want to be able to achieve, and you feel like you're never going to have the income to be able to justify it. Whether it's a new house, a new car, a wedding, a divorce, new boobs, whatever it is that you want, that you feel like you don't have the cash for, that is exactly what Pure Romance can do for you. So if you're curious, please watch me tonight and know that I don't have a PhD in vibrators. Everything that you see me do tonight, I have learned from the company, and I can teach you how to be just as successful. So give me a shot, okay? All right, now, we're going to start with a little game and get everybody warmed up, okay? Now, I'm not going to spend a minute of time playing a game with you guys because you're all smart and there's a ton of different options. But I would definitely suggest that you party with a purpose. Like your games should have a reason for playing them. If you feel like and it needs to be fun. Fun. Like really fun. If your parties are not fun, it's why you're not getting bookings. So don't be afraid to have a tasteful but fun game. And that is the only game that I play the entire party, okay? All right. Okay, girls, everybody get settled back down. Now, we're going to go ahead and jump into our products. You have 3 things in your lap. The first one is a catalog. This catalog is yours to keep. Please feel free to, A, write your name on the front of it so you know which one is yours. But you can dog your pages, make notes in there, rip things out if you're real excited, whatever you like, because it's going home with you. The second thing is you have a wish list, a.k.a. your order form. And I do use the full sheet order form. Do you guys have those? No. Okay. So use a full-size wish list.
We've got the short one.
It's okay. So use a full-size, like full 8.5 by 11 sheet wish list for them to write on, and then transfer it to your order form. Using a big one allows them to dream big and not limit, because if you give them little and they get halfway through it, they think, ooh, I'm a dirty girl, and they stop. But if they have a big sheet, they can fill up half of it, and they're like, no problem, right? Okay, so you have a wish list there. I want you to make notes. I talk really fast. We're going to see a lot of products, and I don't want you to forget what looked good, tasted good, smelled good, or you had questions about. If you have questions, hype up, y'all. Don't be shy, because chances are somebody else is wondering the exact same thing. If, however, it's a little more personal and you don't want everyone knowing all of your naughty little secrets, you can make little notes on your wish list, and then when you come into the shopping room, you can talk to me there. Everything is 100% confidential, and I'll make sure I get all of your questions answered. The last thing you have in your hand is my little pink pen. It has all of my contact information on it. This is yours to keep. Make sure you put it in your purse so that when you have your very first vibrator emergency at 2 a.m., you have easy access to me, okay? All right, so one rule, and then we're going to jump into our products. Are you ready? I have one rule for the rest of the night, and that is that we don't yuck anybody else's yum. So if I show you something that makes you nervous, you're not sure about, maybe you heard something that made you extra nervous from a friend, pipe down and drink more, because chances are the person sitting next to you is looking at it going, ooh la la, and we don't want to make them feel bad, okay? So this is a judge-free zone. This is also like Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Do you guys have anything like that here? You do use Vegas. Vegas is just scary. God, brace yourselves if you're coming to this national training. So yeah, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Anything that you want to talk about, it's all completely confidential, don't worry, all right? Okay, so the very first thing we're going to talk about tonight, and we're going to talk about my imaginary rack of lingerie, is the lingerie. So if you'll turn to the inside back cover of the catalog, you will see our fall collection. This collection is stunning, and I have every piece and every size up here. Here's what I'm going to tell you about lingerie. First of all, sexy is not a size, it's an attitude. It's how you work with what you've got. We all have something we would love to change about ourselves, but the bottom line is your partners are generally looking here, here, and here. And they do not care about your pooch or your chub rub, because when you show up in one of these, they know where it's headed, and it's not to church, okay? So, time to get on board. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you about well-fitted lingerie. Our lingerie is extremely well made, by the way. It's very comfortable, very flattering, and very true to size. When you have a sexy piece of lingerie on, it's going to make you feel confident. There's a misconception that lingerie is entirely for your partner. It really isn't. It's for you. It's to transform you. So if you are the stressed out mama of 4 kids, driving that minivan, you're the taxi cab all week long, but you put on this hot little number, that's all gone. And you are a naughty, naughty vixen, right? It's going to transform who you are. Now, my lingerie is cash and carry, which is awesome because when you fall in love with it tonight, it means you get to take it home with you tonight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass these pieces. You're going to get to touch and feel them. And as you see pieces that you like, I want you to hold on to them. Do not pass them to your neighbor. Yes, I can absolutely get the other sizes again, but what's here is here for tonight, right? One thing to remember is that my hostess has dibs. So if Katie loves it, but you do too, sorry, she gets to pick first. When you host your party, you'll get the dibs on that one, all right? Okay, so I do all of that before I pass a single piece of lingerie. That is my lingerie speech. You're setting the tone. You're giving them permission to be sexy. Because you're going to have people who are like, what's the point? It's going to end up on the floor. Don't worry about it, right? Now, I do pass all sizes. The caveat to that is if I'm doing a party and it's a whole bunch of skinny minis. I'm doing a college party and they're all like a size 2. Am I going to pass my extra larges 1X, 2X, 3X, 4X? No, what's the point? They're all going to be too big for them. If I'm doing a party of all curvy girls like myself, am I going to pass the tissue on a hanger? The smalls? Yeah, I'm not going to waste their time. So kind of gauge your crowd, but if you have a really mixed crowd, which is far more likely than not, pass them all. Because you'll be surprised, women who, especially if you have a slightly more mature crowd, will actually buy lingerie for daughters and nieces and stuff for like bridal showers. You can't possibly know, so just go ahead and pass it all. Now what I do is I hold up one size in a piece and I explain the features. If you don't know what the features are, I'm going to ask you to get on Amazon and buy the little black book of lingerie. It's a teeny quick little book that goes through the styles of lingerie, the features of them, ways to talk about selling them. You need to know the buzzwords. You need to know the difference between a bustier and a corset. You need to know what a teddy is versus a negligee. I mean, it really does make a difference. If for no other reason, it makes you sound like a badass when you're up there and you're explaining exactly what's what. Yes?
Sorry, is there any chance that we're going to get the lingerie?
We do.
Yes.
It's coming back?
June. It's why I'm talking about lingerie, yes. You're the only market over here that has seen my lingerie speech because I didn't find out until yesterday that you guys are getting it. So yeah, you guys are going to get more lingerie, which is super exciting. Okay, so pass. They do not try on, hold on, let's hold the questions till the end, okay? I do not have them try on right now, but they're welcome to try on at the end of the party. I tell them that if they would like to come out and model for their friends, that they actually get 10% off their lingerie. All it takes is one girl comes out, and all of them will try on lingerie. It just takes one brave girl to do it. So why not give them a discount? Because if they put it on, they're going to fall in love with it, and they're going to take it home. Does that make sense? Okay.
I'm assuming the underwear gets worn under that though.
Yes, I tell them, I'm like, it's just like when you go to the store, you're going to leave your own panties on.
Okay.
If you decide to come out and model, you get 10% off. Yep.
I was about to
Okay.
say.
All right, so pass. It all is up on a rack, blah, blah, and then we're done. All right, girls, so let's go to the inside front cover of your catalog, if you don't mind. Does anybody have a catalog on them? Can I borrow it? It's so much easier if I have one before.
Thanks.
Okay. All right, inside front cover. Go ahead and open up to pages 2 and 3. Is that right? 2 and 3? Yep, 2 and 3. All right, so, girls, it's very important that you know that pure romance is not just about enhancing your sexuality. We're interested in enhancing your sensuality. And that starts with your skin, because your skin is your largest erogenous zone. So there's a couple of different spa products that I want to highlight here. Now, one of the things that I want you to be aware of as we're jumping into our catalog, it's our job as consultants to show you the best, and the catalog has the rest. We're not going to see everything in the catalog tonight because we'd be here for like 3 days, and frankly, I'm not that cute, and you want to take your stuff home, right? So don't worry, I'll make sure that I show you all the best stuff. Okay, so signature product for pure romance. Coochie! Do I have any Coochie fans in the house? I love when you cheer for my Coochie. Okay, so here's the deal, girls. Coochie is a rash-free shave cream. So if you were someone that shaves anywhere on your body and gets any kind of irritation, razor burn, ingrown hairs, Coochie is going to get rid of it. Now, there are actually 4 scents of Coochie, but I find that to be a little overwhelming for your nose. So I highlight 2 at a party. If these don't curl your toes, you're welcome to talk to me in the shopping room, and I'll let you smell the other scents, okay? So, first one is our Sweet Fantasy. This is our pineapple vanilla sorbet scent, a little sweeter and fruity. And then the stripy one is the Exotic Escape. It's a pomegranate melon scent, a little more mild, more of a spa scent. Love the fact that Pure Romance is smart and they color code bottles. The entire spa line, you'll notice all the bottles match when they're the same scent. What does that mean for you? When you go home with it, you fall in love and you use your entire bottle of Coochie and you need to call me for a refill, and you call and say, Heather, I need more Coochie. And I say, great, which scent? And you go, I'm going to say, what does your bottle look like? And when you tell me it's polka dot, I will know exactly which one you love. Isn't that smart? Smart company. Okay, and so I pass, done. All right, girls, if you have the ability to show me a little bit of leg, I would love to give you a spritz on your shin. If you have high boots or tights and you can't reach it, I'll take your right arm. For the rest of the night, it's going to be righty-rubby, lefty-licky. Make sense? Okay, and then I go around and I spritz, and I'm like, rub in, rub in, rub in. Keep talking. If you stop talking, what do? They start talking. So talk, 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 eye contact, spritz, spritz, spritz. Okay, rub. By the way, if your partner is currently texting you and saying, what are you doing? You're going to say, I can't talk to you, I'm touching myself. Okay? All right. Now, that's what they think we're doing at these parties anyway. Okay, so girls, you don't have to raise your hand, but if you get out of the shower in the morning and you can feel your skin getting tight because it's so dry, we lube up with lotion and then we're hostage to our lotion. We don't want to put clothes over top of us because they stick to us. Then we start blow drying our hair, and what happens? Sweaty vanity, right? Like it's not fresh. So you'll never have to use heavy goopy lotion again. All you have to do when you get out of the shower and you're still damp is spritz yourself from shoulder to toe with the body dew that I just sprayed you with. It's going to lock the moisture in. You won't have dry, ashy alligator skin. You won't have to constantly be reapplying your lotion, and you won't feel sticky goopy, and you definitely won't get sweaty. Now, cool thing about this as well is that we have the matching scent. So when you like the Sweet Fantasy Coochie, then you follow up with the Sweet Fantasy Body Dew. Keep in mind when you're showing these, whichever one you have the most inventory of, that's the one you talk about. Even though you're passing both, so they have options, talk about the one that you actually have in inventory. Does that make sense? If you only have one in inventory, just show one. Don't create back orders if you don't have to, okay? All right. Now, also there on page 3, you guys will put out the top of a hand for me, and it doesn't matter which one it is. I'm going to put just a little drop on you. And I walk around. The Miracle Oil is an eyedropper. You do not want to squeeze it because it's too much on their hand. So I literally just tap it. Tap, 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 and they rub. Tap, 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 all the way around the room. Okay, so girls, what I just put on you, you can rub anywhere that you have really, really dry skin, whether it's your cuticles, your elbows, bottoms of your feet, whatever you got, whatever you can reach, go ahead and rub that in. Now, it's that cute little brown bottle over there on page 3. The name, I know, is kind of kitschy, but it actually is really accurate. This is called Miracle Oil. Miracle Oil is a combination of 9 essential oils. They are all natural, and they're healers. So this is excellent for any kind of dry, cracked skin that you have. It's great for mild to moderate eczema, skin irritations. It's perfect for sunburn, so that you don't peel, because not only is it going to tone down the discomfort, but it actually helps to really deep moisturize, so you don't get the yucky peeling snake skin afterwards. Also good for bug bites, bee stings, skinned knees. Great for drying or for healing cracked heels, elbows, anywhere. My daughter, my youngest, is a lip biter. She goes and scrapes when she gets nervous, and of course she gets cracked and red and looks like a clown, and I love her. And all the lip stuff, even Burt's Bees that says it's natural, burns when we put it on her, so she won't use it, so it gets worse and worse. We tried this winter. It's so safe, it's so easy. She puts 1 drop on a finger, rub, rub, rub before bed. 48 hours later, done. Healed, no issue, and no burning, so safe for your kids. My husband, I will also tell you one last story. My husband, God love him, we've been married almost 16 years, or more than 16 years, no, almost 17. Decided he was going to have a little midlife crisis this past summer on 4th of July, and went skateboarding in the dark barefoot with my son. Yeah, real smart, bright guy. He decided that it was a good idea, and then he fell off and actually shaved off the side of his knee and the ball of his foot. Yep, total abrasion, road burn, all that. So ultimately, we went in, they were talking about having to do skin grafts to replace the skin, but we were on vacation, and they didn't want to do it and have him travel, so we needed to get home. So it took us a few days to actually get home and make it happen. Over the course of that time, I was hosing him down in miracle oil. By the time we got there, 4 days later, and the doctor looked at the pictures from before and the pictures that we were working with now, he couldn't believe the difference, and there was no skin graft necessary. Everything regenerated, the skin came back, and he has no scarring. So this product is absolutely a household necessity. In my opinion, you have one on your main floor, one upstairs, because you're going to need it constantly, and your kids are going to be all up in it as well. Okay? Really, really, really smart. Miracle Oil, cute little add-on bottle there. Okay, now go ahead, let me see. Where are we? Go to page 5. Page 5 is where we're headed next. Now you're going to notice that we're not going to go page by page in here because I have a little ADD, so we're going to jump around, so hang with me, okay? Page 5. So let's talk about your guy, okay? So let's be honest, men are not the freshest smelling creatures on the planet, bless their hearts. So we're going to do a little exercise together, kind of visualize this. So everybody go ahead and close your eyes. And I'm watching you, so I'll know if you're pretending. I want you to visualize whomever it is that you think of when you think of the sexiest man alive. And no, it does not have to be your partner. Now, what do you think they smell like? I heard moaning. Dirty. Okay, open your eyes. Now, we have 3 products for your male partner, and they smell like sexy man, okay? I don't mean like smelly man, I mean sexy man. So the very first one that I want to talk about is our Shave. I'm going to pass it around so you can give it a quick sniff. Shave is an all-over body shave cream for your partner. It works just like Coochie, but it's for them, and it smells masculine. And when I say all over, I mean literally from the top of their head all the way down their legs. If you have a BBC guy, bald by choice, he shaves his head. He can shave, and it's so much more soothing for him. That's really very hard on their scalp. But let's be honest. Not only are they shaving their face and maybe shaving their head or whatever, they should be shaving here. This is called manscaping. Okay? Now, manscaping is not new, but if your guy's been hiding under a rock and it still looks like 1973 down here, I have a couple of lines for you to make sure that he understands that this is kind of important and to make it fun so he doesn't feel like there's pressure, but more that it's going to be beneficial to both of you, okay? So the first thing you're going to say is, babe, your Jaguar is getting lost in the jungle. Yeah, he's going to be like, I'll be right back, okay? The second thing you're going to say, if that one doesn't work, is, babe, you do realize that less hair makes it look bigger. Yeah, it's actually true. And finally, if he thinks that you're going to put your mouth anywhere here, just politely remind him that no one likes to eat a sweater, okay? Okay, so that's Shave, girls. Pass it along, tell him to use it liberally. Have fun with it. Now, the next thing in our men's line is called Spray. Also has the amazing same scent, so they can layer this. You don't have to raise your hand, but if you've ever been to an office, a party, the mall, and somebody got really heavy-handed with the links. I know, it's so bad you can taste it. You're like, right? I know, it's really awful. Well, here's the deal. Lynx is marketed to 13 to 18-year-old boys. So if you have a man in your life that you want to smell like a man, please give them Spray, because that's exactly what it's going to do. It's a deodorizing spray for your guy. They can use it on their skin, they can use it on their clothes, they can use it in their gym bag, in their shoes, literally anywhere. And it's almost impossible for them to use too much of this, because the scent diffuses and only a very light scent will linger just enough so that you know he's yours, okay? The other cool thing about our whole men's line is that it's actually pheromone laced, so it's got a little extra come and get me to it. Now, single girls, don't feel left out, y'all. This is boyfriend spray, okay? Take this home, spritz it on your pillow, go wash your face. You're gonna come back in and lay down and think you're going to sleep, and you're gonna lay there, and the pheromones are gonna be like, oh my God, pass the toy, okay? Don't worry, I got you covered, girl, okay? No worries. All right, last thing in this section. Here's the deal, girls. So, and I don't know, you guys, none of the other markets have ever heard this, so maybe you have. We have a term that we affectionately call swamp butt.
What?
Anybody know what swamp butt is? In the front row, that's right. Okay, so swamp butt occurs in most men because they have lots of skin all kind of up here, and they tend to wear things that are a little more snug, like the sexy boxer briefs that Beckham made popular, all those things. And so you've got heat and moisture, and that creates a delightful smell that is affectionately called swamp butt. Now, not only does it really smell bad, and even men know that it's not fresh, but it actually creates chafing and discomfort and all kinds of issues. So if you have a guy that has a job that has him working outside in the heat, and it is hot as 80s here, P.S. So if you have a guy that works outside, he's in construction, maybe you have an athlete, he runs, or he's a coach, or whatever it is, or you just have someone that is really, really active for like a 12-hour day, he's going to have that unfresh feeling. So you know what men do when this happens, or what they think they're going to do to try and prevent it? They go in the nursery and they go find the baby powder. And instead of being smart and doing this, they do this. Right? So it looks like it snowed in your bathroom, and now he smells like an infant, which is not not a good recipe for, hey, let's have sex, right? So we got really smart and we created men's talc. So it has the same amazing scent as the shave and the spray, and it's a cute little small bottle that naturally makes him want to do this. And he's touching himself anyway, so we might as well go ahead and put this on there and make sure that the swamp butt is gone, okay? So, brilliant. Go home with the whole line, girls. I promise you, your partner will be delighted that you were thinking of them, plus he's gonna smell spectacular, all right? Okay, so we've seen all the touchy-feely, lovely spa stuff. Now we're gonna talk a little bit about massage. So let's go to page 6 and 7, and we're going to talk about a really, really, really easy massage tool. Now, we as women hear the word massage, and we immediately think spa, 90-minute deep tissue massage with bars, right? Like, it's always a hot dude in our head. Normally, it's a very unattractive woman that does this, but in our head, it's a really, really hot, young, buff dude. But our partner hears the word massage and thinks what? One word. Sex. Sex. Or very funny, in Brisbane, somebody yelled out, happy ending! And it took me a minute to compose myself when she did that. I'm like, oh, that's so true. Okay, so either way, clearly their brain is in a different place than ours is, right? So the bottom line, though, is that erotic massage is not the same as massage at a spa. Erotic massage is long, light, feather touches in the less obvious places. So men in particular tend to be like, you know, the meat and potatoes dude and just jump right in. And they jump here. But if we're not properly aroused, going straight here literally does nothing for us. So a little bit, and I'm talking a little, like 3 to 5 minutes of massage on your back, on the backs of your legs, the bottoms of your feet, will actually increase blood flow to the parts that we need it in, that will ultimately help him and us, right? Plus, it's foreplay, and that is the F word that we love, right? Foreplay, foreplay, foreplay. Now, most men in particular are really, really bad at massage. They just are. Like, they don't realize their own strength. They feel like they need to be, you know, kind of strong and get up in there. And ultimately, again, that's not very sexy. Or they rub you for 30 seconds and they're like, okay, do me, right? So what we have is massage for dummies, okay? This is the Heart Throb. It is a 2-handed set of reusable heated massagers. And when I say reusable, I mean literally hundreds of times. So when you first get it, it's a little gel pack just like this, and there's a little metal disc that floats around in there. You're going to pop the disc back and forth, both directions. One turns it on. Whoop. Hold on, he's not excited yet. More foreplay for him.
No, where's your bullet?
Oh, flying bullet. Hold on. That's the worst when it happens at a party. Okay, so here it goes, girls. Thank you. I just threw a vibrator at you. Sorry. Okay, so you see how it's crystallizing? This is getting hot. This heats up to, oh, it's 130 degrees for us. What do you think? 54, okay. So, Celsius, sorry, I'm not there yet. So 54 degrees for you guys, like this is amazing. Anybody ever had a hot stone massage?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome, right? But super expensive and you have to go to the spa for it. That's exactly what this feels like. So, if you girls will put both of your arms out, forearms up so that I can get the soft part of your arm. I'm going to come around and give you a little rub, okay? Now, if the man in your life is texting you, you're going to say, I'm sorry, I can't talk. Now the dildo lady is rubbing me. Okay, all right, so the other cool thing about the heartthrob is that you have the option of having just massage or having vibrating massage. Because the set comes with two really cute, really discreet little vibrators that can fit right in here. And now you have hands, no gripping, no arthritis being irritated, oh, right? So what I'm doing is I'm going up and down, lots of eye contact with the person that I'm rubbing. So you're going to say, okay, girl, so I want you to imagine this not just on your arms, but on your bum, with a little wax on, wax off, right? Awesome. Okay, so this is massage for dummies. Like, it really is super, super easy. And again, you can use the vibration or you can not. It's entirely up to you. But the pillows are reusable, so you can literally use them hundreds of times. They heat on these things, last for about an hour, and then the next time you're in the kitchen making breakfast, coffee, dinner, whatever it happens to be, pop them in a pot of boiling water and set the timer for 10 minutes. It goes back to gel form, and then whenever you want to use them again, whether it's that day or 6 months later, you're going to pop the disc both directions, and it starts all over again. The cool thing is you don't have to remember anything I just said, because it's all written on the back of the heart. Clearly these were designed by a woman, okay? So, I'm going to pass them around so you can touch and feel them. Now, not only are these amazing for massage, but they're actually great for any kind of muscle aches or pain that you might have. If you have bad cramps with them on, you can literally tuck it in the front of your pants, jeans, or skirt, and it will radiate heat throughout your pelvic areas like a traveling heating pad. Low back pain, the exact same thing. I have teachers that are literally standing at their smartboard doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing with their job, and they have this tuck so that they're not hurting, because I mean, that's a drag. Do any of you sit at a computer and click all day long? Okay, you're going to have a lot of tension in your neck. A lot of tension in your neck. So imagine the last hour of your day, or if you have a long commute during your drive home, put them under your bra straps so that it literally is melting away the tension in your neck and shoulders while you're on your way home, because the rest of your day is not done. You're only about 2/3 of the way done with your day by the time you're out of work, right? These are also fantastic for anybody that you know, whether they're a 5-year-old or 305-year-old. Completely appropriate and totally G-rated. There's nothing at all inappropriate written on these hearts. I will tell you that each one of the people in my household, including all of my children, have their own dedicated massager because they get growing pains. They don't get growing pains at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they get them at 3 o'clock in the morning. So rather than them wake up the entire household because they're crying, I leave this on their bedside table. When they wake up and they hurt, they pop the disc, it heats up, they put it wherever it hurts, it rolls out of their bed when they fall back to sleep. It cannot choke them, it cannot burn them, totally safe. It's brilliant. Any of you that have outdoor sporting events, because you have little athletes in your life, take them with you. You can put them in the pocket of your hoodie, or you can wrap a scarf around your neck while it's back there, and it will radiate heat wherever you have it. This is such a smart, versatile little tool, okay? This is our heartthrob. And again, the little bullets are removable, so don't worry. One little caveat there, if you show the throb, you'll sell the throb. You can always dial back if you want to, if somebody's on a tight budget, and give them just the massager, but they love the fact that there are two, even if it's a single woman and she wants to have one for today and one for tomorrow so that she can rotate them through. So again, show them the best. All right, now girls, go ahead and smell your arms where I rubbed you. Smells good, doesn't it? And then just a little rub on there. You can see it doesn't feel oily or greasy. I did put just a touch of massage oil on there. You'll see them there on page 7, I think. Is that right? Page 6, I'm sorry. Page 6, the little black bottle that's there is called Aura. Aura is a very nice, light massage oil. It's not going to leave you feeling oily or greasy. Very lightly scented as well, so it's completely safe for you to use, even with a male partner. He's not going to be overwhelmed by it. And because there is no mineral oil in this, it's not going to stain your sheets or clothing. So I put literally a 20-cent piece amount on the top of the pillow, and it just rubs all over so you don't have friction when you're trying to give a little massage, okay? So a little dabble in. All right, now let's go back to pages 16 and 17. and 17 for me before I show you these products. 3 little words, and they are pinky, tip, dab. Pinky, tip, dab. Pinky like your finger, tip, T-I-P, dab, D-A-B. The reason I have you do this, I want you all to pull up your pinky like your Oscar Mars. Okay? Look at it. Look at your pinky nail. Do you see how small it is? This is the size of your clitoris externally, called your glans clitoris. That's only a small percentage of your actual clitoris. The rest of it is inside of you and you never see it, but you feel it when it's properly aroused. However, if the external portion is this small, do you need a handful of anything to cover it? No. No. Okay, so pinky tip down. Now, there are 4 varieties of arousal balms with Pure Romance because they all are for a different person. And I'm going to go through who would be appropriate for which one, all right? So you'll know by the end of this which one is for you. And we're going to pretend like one of these pink ones is pure because they sent me the wrong one. Sorry. Okay, so we're going to start with the white one and work our way back over, okay? So the white one is called Pure. The name is brilliant. Pure is for my sensitive Susies. So if you are that girl, you can't have anything flavored, scented, colored, anything in any of your personal care products. If that's you, this is for you. Pinky tip dab directly on your clitoris. It's going to give you a little bit of tingle and help kind of give you a kick in the pants if you're struggling to become aroused. That's that one. The next one is O, the black tube. Now, O is for those of you whose libidos took a vacation and never came home. Once upon a time, you used to have a wild sex life, but because of birth control, antihistamines, antidepressant medication, thyroid disorder, diabetes, heart medication, lack of sleep, poor diet, whatever it happens to be, and like you're like, check, 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 check. If this is any of you, then you've experienced this, and it puts a lot of strain on a relationship when you're not interested and your partner is. So what you're going to do is take a pinky tip of this, little dab. It's going to make things tingly. It's not just going to make them tingly for a few minutes. It's going to give you a good half an hour of tingle. So it's going to take you from I'm not in the mood to that was excellent. Thank you so much. Okay. Now there are 2 flavors of this one. There's Pudina Mint and vanilla frosting. The other thing to keep in mind is that this is a unisex product, so you can actually use this on your male partner. On them, you're going to put it someplace different. They don't have a clitoris. Bummer, right? Stinks for them. But on them, you're going to put it on their perineum, which is a 1-inch area of flesh between their scrotum, the bottom of their base of their scrotum, and their anal area. We call that a taint. You guys call it that? No? Gooch. The cooch? Gooch. Gooch, okay. Why is it called the gooch? Does that stand for something? Or is that just a nickname?
No, I think it's just a nickname.
Okay, because for us, we call it the taint the balls, taint the butt. Yeah, I know it's trashy, but it's cute, it's funny. Okay, so, so what you're going to do is actually, it's a larger area on them than it is on us, so you're going to use a little ring fingertip dab, okay, a little bit more, and put it down there. This is going to help with the guy that struggles to get or maintain a full erection, okay? Now, one little caveat there, make sure that you give your partner a warning that it's going to feel like his balls smoked a menthol, okay? Okay, there you are. Now, the pink tube. The pink tube is called Boost, and that's exactly what it is. It's a kick in the pants, y'all. This is for our lazy girls, and you will know if this is you. If you see your partner pull in the drive, and you're like, oh, because you know they're going to be on you like white on rice, and you're thinking about laundry and dinner and homework and housekeeping and all this stuff, and you're just not there, but you know that if you would stop being lazy and stop worrying about, I gotta get naked and, oh, it's kind of messy and, stop being such a girl, get naked and have some fun, you're gonna have an orgasm and you're gonna sleep better, right? So get on board. Pinky tip dab, again, like 10 to 15 minutes of tingle, it kicks in so that your natural sex drive has a minute to catch up, okay? Now, this is also flavored, so you have 3 choices, which is so fun. You've got chocolate caramel, strawberry, or sugar cookie. I do recommend that you choose the flavor that your partner would like, because if you could lick yourself, you wouldn't need me, right? Okay. All right. What? Gooch. Gooch. Oh, okay, got it. That makes a little more sense. Okay. Thank you. So the last 2, the little gold one on its very own page. This is called AMP. AMP is a very specific product, and you'll know exactly if this is for you. So if you touch yourself and have little to no sensation at all, if you have had any kind of surgery or traumatic moment, like a difficult childbirth, or a full or partial hysterectomy, a prolapse of any kind that's caused nerve damage. If you're a lifelong equestrian, All that time in the saddle puts a lot of pressure on the nerve endings in your clitoris, can actually take away sensitivity. So if this is you, if you're any of these categories, if you have currently or in the past gone through cancer treatment, that can dramatically affect your sensitivity. This is a great product for you. It is very intense. So if you touch yourself and you have sensation, it's not for you. Okay, this is definitely a very specific category of people. Pinky tip dab. Go easy, okay? A little bit goes a long way, don't get crazy. Now, I'm sure you're looking at these right now and you're thinking, oh, this one is for me. Please, do not go home all tipsy and fun and ready to get wild after this party and be like, I want a little extra, I don't care what she says. And slap that on there. Because boy, I'm telling you what, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And you're gonna call me on my little pink pen and I'm gonna go, pinky tip dab, and I'm gonna hang up on you, okay? So, I really, really, really mean it. You're not the exception. Pinky tip dab, okay? All right, so we are tingly, we are excited, we've been rubbed, we have beautiful, soft, rash-free skin, and now we're dry. Oh, right? Okay, so let's talk about lubrication, girls, because I'm about to get into the toys, and it is absolutely imperative that you understand just how important good lubrication is. Now, you might start off with plenty of natural lubrication, and if you do, high five to you. But what you may not realize is that your male partner is literally a sponge. The entire shaft of his penis is porous, and he makes no natural lubrication of his own. He steals yours. Isn't that kind? Right? So, they penetrate. 50% of your moisture is gone, minimum. They pull out because they think they're being sexy, and they try to go back in. And what happens? It's literally like a wind tunnel has come through and gone, and it's gone. It's literally dry as bone. He tries to go back in, and it's like, wait. And we are so lazy as women that rather than say, we probably could use some lubricant, we do the wiggle, to try to find the one spot of moisture that still exists anywhere near our vaginal opening, right? Okay, knock it off, okay? So lubrication, it's not a sexy word, but it's really, really super important. So first of all, if you don't have proper lubrication, you're actually creating friction, and friction then creates vaginal tearing that causes pain. When you have pain, it sends a message to your brain that sex hurts. Of course your body is not going to want to do things to it that hurts, right? So consider lubrication to be a conductor. It literally is going to intensify the sensation because you're going to have gliding and not friction. And it's going to make sure that your nerve endings are satisfied and not irritated, right? Plus, it's going to make sure that it's comfortable for both of you because your partner can get uncomfortable as well. Now, when it comes to lubrication, there's actually a couple of different options we're going to go through. So let's go to, let me find it here, page 10 and 11. Page 10 and 11, girls, okay? So you don't have to raise your hand if you've ever had check the box sex. You know what check the box sex is?
Yeah.
Check the box sex is, we haven't had sex in a while. We're both probably kind of concerned about it. Let's go ahead and do it. So we do. It's not good. But you did it, you high five because you did it, right? You're like, we still got it, babe, and off you go back to your corners and back to whatever it is you do. So you can't always have check the box sex, but check the box sex is just a fact of a long-term relationship. Like, it's just the way that it's going to be. But if you have check the box sex and you go to the bathroom and you wipe and it's super, super tender, or 3 days later you go to have legit fun and it hurts. You didn't have enough personal moisture the first go around. So what I want you to do is put your finger up like I am number one. Play along, please. Thank you. It's a visual. So this should be your policy in the bedroom. I'm number one. Because they're gonna get theirs, okay? This is not selfish, it's called self-preservation. Now I want you to take that finger, you're gonna dip it in the palm of my hand, and you're gonna rub like baby violins, okay? Dip and rub. I put one squirt of just like me in my palm, and go fast, dip, 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 I mean fast. I don't let them go and rub and all that, because then they get too much. Dip, 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 dip. Now rub your fingers, doesn't that feel good? Yes, isn't that awesome? That's like you on your best day ever. 64 ounces of water, no medication, 8 hours of sleep. When does that happen? Never, right? Now blow. The reason I have you do this is actually a re-wetting lubricant called Just Like Me. This is brilliant. It works with your natural moisture, so that it gives you what you need. It's pH balanced, lovely, which is great for those of you that are prone to infection. And it's non-staining for your sheets and panties. Now, do you see how your fingers feel nice and soft but not wet? It's because it deactivated. But when you put this on, let's say you have date night, you put it on as part of your normal beauty routine, okay? A little extra moisture for you, a little more comfort. It's going to deactivate, just like it did on your fingers, where it feels nice and soft and dry, but not wet. At any point in the next couple of hours that you're aroused, it will actually reactivate when you need it. With a drop of your moisture, it will combine with it just like me. Please look at your butt. And you won't have to stop in your sexy moment and be like, it's really dry. Because they take that super, super personally, right? Like, you say hormones and they go la 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 la. They don't understand that, right? None of that makes sense to them. All they know is that they think they're not getting you excited, and that's a problem. So they wouldn't have any idea that this was yours or a lubricant, because it literally feels and tastes just like you. This is the original Just Like Me. This is what I recommend to 99% of women, because a lot of women are very, very sensitive to colors and flavors internally. So unless you've done experimenting with that, stick with the original. It's perfect. Okay? Now, for those of you who are pregnant, nursing, are in the middle or have gone through menopause, have significant medical issues, are taking very, very high dosage of anti-anxiety or antidepressant medication, have had the cancer treatment issue. Anybody that falls into that category, you probably don't have a lot of natural moisture of your own at all. And so the Just Like Me is not going to be the right solution because your body will literally absorb it. It has, you're porous too, and if you have no natural moisture, it's just going to keep absorbing and trying to re-wet. So we have a different option for you. So I want you to put your finger out on your other hand, and I'm going to come around and put one little dot of this on you. This one I do not put in my own hand for them to touch, because it actually adheres wherever you put, and it won't transfer. So it's not going to get on them. They won't understand it. Okay? So one little drop, 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 drop. Go easy, and we'll go a long way. Now rub your fingers together. It feels like liquid silk, doesn't it? This is called Simply Silk. Simply Silk is a silicone lubricant. It is completely toy safe, which is awesome because most silicone lubricants are not. It is absolutely great for vaginal intercourse. It's great for anal play. It's great for water play. If you like sex in the shower, the pool, the hot tub, wherever you happen to be, this is completely waterproof. Do you see it still going? Like so going. Like the other nose bunny, right? Try and wipe it off. It doesn't come off. It doesn't come off on your clothes. It doesn't run. It doesn't drip. It's actually a gel, so wherever you put it, it will adhere and stay. Soap and water will take it right away. Regular water? Nope. It keeps on going. This is also particularly good for those of you that are maybe in a new relationship, where there's like 4 times a day sex going on. This is definitely an all-nighter lubricant, okay? All right, so this is called Simply Silk. You'll see a little bit goes a long way. Nice, discreet bottle. This is actually a great bottle to travel with as well. All right, girls. We are ready for the things that buzz. Are you guys ready? Woo! Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so, toys. So here's the deal, girls. If you're at your very first toy party with me, I'm super honored that I'm popping your toy cherry. That's so fun. I'm also really excited for those of you, though, that are my repeat offenders, that love what you got so much that you came back because you wanted to do it again. So for those that maybe are a first timer, or you're not a first timer to the party, but you've never had a toy before, you're just kind of boggled by the whole thing. You're thinking, why? I don't understand why. Why are people so excited about toys? So, a couple of little facts for you that help. Does anybody know how long it takes the average man to orgasm? 3 minutes. How long does it take the average woman? 21. 21 minutes. That's an 18-minute gap on average. 18 minutes. That's big. You know what that gap does? Bruises egos. Hurts their feelings, makes you feel left out. So toys help bridge that gap so that when you finally do come together, everybody wins. It doesn't mean you're going to be like in the movies or the books and you're going to simultaneously orgasm. Like, the likelihood that that's going to happen is like once in a lifetime, okay? So embrace it. That's Hollywood. But it doesn't mean that you can't both achieve orgasm and do it a little closer together, right? Now, the thing to remember, if you, really, like, if you have a nervous Nelly at home who's like, I don't know why you need to go to a sex toy party, you have me. Don't bring home anything that's bigger than me. Don't bring home anything that goes inside of you. Don't bring home anything that buzzes. Like, they have all kinds of caveats. But the bottom line, if you have a nervous Nelly, is that they're worried you're going to get a toy and love your toy more than you love them. I am not here to replace your partner. If you're having great sex, I high-five you. But if you are not, it doesn't mean you can't. So consider these like the toppings to your ice cream sundae. Once in a while, you just want to have that straight scoop of vanilla. It's easy, it's plain, you like it, and it's quick. But sometimes you want the whole enchilada, right? Like you're looking at the whipped cream and the banana slices and the nuts, right? Okay. All right. So that's what we're talking about. Like these are the toppings of your ice cream sundae. Okay. Now here's the other thing to remember. An orgasm is an orgasm is an orgasm as far as your body is concerned. When you have an orgasm, you clench and contract the pelvic floor muscles, your uterus contracts, and you release endorphins. Yay, right? But there's lots of different ways to make orgasm happen, and some orgasms are little and some orgasms are big. But the bottom line is that when you have them, your body will crave them. So those of you that struggle with your sex drive, those of you that had O marked down, that are really, really having a hard time, I recommend a sex diet. Okay? So, consider me like Dr. Pillow. Dr. Pillow says sex diet. Orgasm a day for 30 days. Not only are you going to have a clearer complexion, which you will, you'll actually have a stronger immune system, and you will have significantly less incidence of the down days, the doldrums, the blues. Really helps with depression. So truly like an apple and an orgasm a day, you're going to be the healthiest person on the planet, okay? So keep this in mind as you're looking at these, because it does not matter whether you have an orgasm with a partner or an orgasm with a toy. We just want you to have them, okay? So I have a rule of 3 for you as I show you these toys. It's a great guideline to make sure that you home a little something for everybody and nobody feels left out. And the rule of 3 is this: toy for them, toy for you, toy for 2. Everyone is happy. Those of you that are my sexy singles, don't feel left out. 3 toys for you. Okay, now, this is when it gets creative. Okay, so let me introduce you to Mr. Dependable. Not Mr. Dependable. Mr. Dependable is a dildo. He has a suction cup. You can suction cup him to the shower door for a little morning fun. But clearly he's very anatomically correct, so we're going to have a quick anatomy lesson. So Mr. Dependable obviously has a shaft that we're probably all familiar with. What you may not realize is that there is a vein that goes from his anal area up around his scrotum all the way up the length of the shaft, called the main vein, wildly sensitive all the way around. If you have a circumcised partner, the lip of the head is called the corona. A little bit of teeth during oral, awesome. Lots of teeth, no good. Okay? And then the little arrow-shaped divot under the head here, this is called the frenulum. This is a hot spot on any man, particularly if you have a marathon man that can go and go and go like the Energizer Bunny. Y'all, focus here first. It's going to be quick, easy, and it's definitely going to help speed things up. Okay? All right, now, the reason we need Mr. Dependable is because I'm going to show you 2 toys that don't come with any instructions, but you're going to want to see exactly how they work, okay? So the first one, let's go back to page 29. And I almost forgot one really important thing before I show you that one. Toy cleaner. So important, y'all, okay? Like, you cannot clean your toys with soap and water, just like you get soap scum buildup on your shower door or curtain, God bless you. You'll get it on your toy, and clearly that's not fresh. So all you're going to do is spritz the cum clean all over your toy. You're going to rinse with hot water, and you're done. Now, Pure Romance got real smart. They have 2 sizes of cleaner. They have the 4-ounce size that's here. It's a starter size for those of you that are getting your first toy and you're just not sure. But for those of you that already have your whole little toy entourage at your house, for $4 more, you get twice as much, which is pretty smart. I passed the small one. Okay, now, ta-da! Super stretch. Okay, so super stretch sleeve. So this is a silicone masturbation sleeve. There's a hole that goes from one end all the way through to the other. It doesn't matter which side you approach from. I'm going to show you how this works. I'll explain exactly why your partner might have some fun with this. But as I pass it around, I'm going to see you whisper to your neighbor, "Oh, that looks like fun, but I don't think my guy will fit in that." Because if your guy doesn't fit in here, we want a seat. Okay? Text you over a picture from the waist down. We want a seat. Okay? Okay, so, Katie, my hostess, do you have a show that you like to watch that involves a very attractive man?
There's many. Where do I begin? Yes, Supernatural, Jensen Ackles.
Oh.
You're really going to find out who this person is. Okay. What's his name? Dean? Dean. Okay, so Dean is coming on in 5. You've got your zip cream on. You got your hair on top of your head. You got your Garfield jammies on. Like, you're not looking your cutest, okay? But in your head, you're like, I'm a goddess. Because your show's coming on, and you got your whole fantasy thing going on, which is great. It's really healthy for you, right? But partner gets out of the shower 5 minutes before your show's coming on, towel wrapped around them, with that look in their eye. And you're going, I feel like we're not, right? Like, show's coming on, I'm not really there. But do you like when someone tells you no? No, nobody likes rejection. Plus, if your partner is smart, you're not giving up that easy, right? They're going to drop the towel and the pee dance starts. They're spinning around in your face like, you know you won. You're like, oh my God, put it away, put it away. Like, no. But he's persistent. Like, that's kind of how it is. And he feels like if he's silly, you'll be silly, and that's going to lead to sex, right? So that is a super stretch moment. That is exactly where this product comes in. So grab your whip, okay? Why do we use whip? Whip is an emollient lubricant, so it's different. It's actually for men. It's perfect. So it's going to be a little creamier, and it's flavored, which means for you, it tastes good. Because nobody likes the flavor of original penis, right? Like, okay, so we're going to use the whipped vanilla cupcake, but there's 2 other options for you, so I'll pass those around. So a little bit, right inside the opening, just a little dab will do, okay? Here's your guy. He is super proud of what he's got. Like, they love their stuff, right? So you're going to lube the head of your partner because he has no natural moisture. And that same old boring hand favor just got way more entertaining because this is giving him equal pressure all the way around the shaft instead of 4 fingers on one side, thumb on the other, and let's be honest, you're not really paying attention, right? But, when you're using the super stretch, it's literally a one-handed operation when he's attached. You can tap on the phone, changing channels, whatever, okay? Give him a little click so he knows you're alive. The lick and look. You know what the lick and look is? The lick and look. And you love that, okay? Alright, so you now are in total control. And this is going to be your new best friend because it's going to suck and swallow for you. Are you ready? You're going to hold it at the base and tug from the top. Yo, that is like Dyson quality suction, okay? That is lockjaw waiting to happen. You will pinch it off at the top while you pull. He pops his cork inside. No muss, no fuss, no stain sheets. Hand it to him with the cleaner and say, you're welcome, babe. And you're done. Yeah. That's good. We love that, okay? Fastest hand favor ever. Woo! All right, so I'm going to pass it around so you can see. Put your fingers inside of this, girls. Like, see what it feels like. It actually heats up to body temperature really, really fast. It's high-grade silicone, so it feels incredibly lifelike for your partner. Now, how do you clean it? You literally can flip it inside out. Easy breezy, spritz, 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 rinse with that water, and you're done, okay? Super fast. Here's what you don't do with the super stretch. Do not go home from my party, throw it at your partner, and be like, I got you something, and roll out. Because I went to a sex toy party, and I replaced myself, and they will never be on board with you going again. So I want you to go home, take one for the team, whisper down the hallway, do you want to know what I learned at the sex toy party? Right? He's going to be like, run down the hallway. Start with a little legit oral, that's why whip tastes good, okay? Get the whole lick and look going. And when his eyes roll back in his head, boom, slide that bad boy on there. It's going to be a big night at your house, okay? All right, so we've knocked him out. He's all ready, and our rule of 3 to guide toy is right there. It's the super stretch. And that was a little blue one on page 29. Now, flip one page backwards and let's go ring shopping on page 26. Page 26, okay? All right, so here's the deal, girls. Cock rings, C-rings, couples toys, doesn't matter what you call them. All it means is that you use them together, which is pretty important, especially if you have a nervous Nelly. So not all C-rings are created equal. I definitely am going to show you the best one. This is the Jelly Tool Belt. The Jelly Tool Belt has 2 rings and a bullet. That's what this little silver thing is called. They're called bullets. And it vibrates. We'll get to the vibration in a second. So your partner goes here. And I know the first time I saw this, I was like, oh, bless his heart. Right? Like, yikes. But it's stretchy. That's the whole point. It's going to be snug on him. And it's going to go all the way to the base, which I'll show you here in Mr. Dependable in a second. Because it's going to do 2 things. 1, it's going to turn him into the human vibrator, which is so fun for both of you. And 2, it's actually going to help hold the blood into the shaft, which is going to make him a little bit girthier, and it gives us that feeling of fullness that we love, right? Bless you. Now, never, ever, 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 ever try and put a cock ring on your partner without lubricant, because he will donkey kick you across the room. Okay? So, whipped is what we're looking for. Rub, whip, 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 whip. The reason we do this is if you try to use just like me, just like with the super stretch, he's gonna absorb it and the toy's gonna stick to him and he's gonna cry like a little girl, which is not friendly, okay? So lube it up. My guy is really good in lube, so this is what it's gonna look like on your partner, okay? So all the way to the base of Mr. Dependable, little French ticklers facing your clitoris. Your clitoris, that's right. Don't be afraid of your clitoris. Okay, so here's the deal, girls. The cool thing about this is that this is wherever you need it to be. So if you change positions, when it's good and lubed up, you can actually turn it. Turn it so that it follows your clitoris. Doggy style, your clitoris isn't up top anymore, it's down low. Side by side, on your head, whatever it is you decide to do, turn it around, okay? Now, when you get this on, start on low. Don't get crazy and scare him, okay? So one little, my batteries are dead, so bear with me. One little button, stop. Look at it going. It's going wild. He's going, oh my God, oh my God. Stop there. Don't get crazy. Don't be like, hang on, watch what he can do. Because he's going to be done before you even get on, okay? So stop. Now, when this is on, don't be intimidated by the cord, y'all. Find what you like and toss it to the side. It's got a nice long cord. The cord allows for more power. But when you're really ready to curl their toes, there is a second ring on the Jelly Tool Belt. Super, super stretchy, okay? You're gonna make sure it's got lots of whipped on it and have him gently loop it back behind his voice. That takes the vibration from the front around to the back where his prostate is, and you will see a whole new O-face on your partner, okay? I'm gonna pass this around intact so you can see what it feels like, and don't be afraid to push that button. 7 different types of vibration on this. There's one for every day of the week. All right, that's the Jelly Tool Belt. So that's the toy for 2 in our rule of 3, girls, okay? So we've seen the toy for him, we've seen the toy for 2. Now we're gonna see a whole bunch of toys for you. Okay, so when I say that, I want you to understand that these toys do not need to be your naughty little secret. They can be, but remember that big 18-minute gap that we were talking about? The way you're gonna bridge that is by using toys together. It's a very erotic experience, requires a lot of trust, but it can be super, super fun for both partners. Now, let's head over to page 18. Page 18, and I'm going to show you a toy that will literally change your sex life. So if you can have an orgasm by yourself in a hot minute, but you get with a partner and it's hit or miss. Maybe it's more miss than hit. Maybe, once in a while, your partner gets the rhythm going, and in your head, you're literally rooting him on. That's it. Go, 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 go. Keep going, so close. And all of a sudden, he talks, he farts, he does something. And your orgasm goes, just kidding. Oh. And vanishes. Did you know you can lose an orgasm? Because you can. And you go from blissful to pissed off in 2.3 seconds, right? Okay, so the reason this happens, literally, 80% of women cannot have an orgasm through strictly vaginal stimulation. That's the vast majority of us. So if you're in that vast majority, you're not broken, there's nothing wrong with you, it's just how your body's made. So you just need a little extra horsepower, maybe. And that's exactly where the split decision comes in. It's called split decision because both pieces vibrate. Here's why I think this is brilliant. Look at the shape. This is the controller, which normally would just hold the buttons, but on the split decision, it actually vibrates too. So put those batteries in and hit that little button. And this sucker starts going, y'all. I mean, for real, it's rowdy. But it's discreet. You got lots of power, but a nice quiet motor. The shape of this is brilliant. It will literally cup over your pubic bone and hit everything good. It can sit flush against you, even in missionary. Your partner can hold it there. Your partner can reach around in doggy style with this. You can. It's so easy to use. But don't feel like only one of you can have fun at a time, because there is a bullet that can be plugged into the base of this. And now both are vibrating. So you can have clitoral stimulation, they can have nipple stimulation. You can have both. Are you kidding me? Like, that's wildly stimulating. You can reach around both sides. You can have double whammy, right? Like, if you can have a ton of fun with this. So, 10 different speeds, okay? 10 different types of vibration. So you've not only got slow, medium, fast, but you've got lots of pulsation and SOS and roller coaster and all kinds of fun different functions. But the cool thing is, too, that if you decide, like maybe you're going to use it solo, this looks like a back massager, y'all. It doesn't look like a vibrator. It can literally, and it can rub your neck, it can do all kinds of fun stuff. It looks very, very discreet. The other cool thing about this, if you ever heard of hallway sex, you know what hallway sex is? Hallway sex is we're mad at each other, we don't want to look at each other, but we have a nice long cord, so we slip it under the door, you get one and I get the other. All right, girls, back to split decision, have some fun. The way that you turn it off is to hold that black button down nonstop for about 5 seconds, and it'll make sure it turns off. All right, girls, that is on page 18. All right, head over to page 23. Page 23. Just check this. And we're going to talk about your G-spot. Woo! Okay, so here's the deal. It was not a genetic crapshoot. You have a G-spot. Everyone got it, okay? It's not like the day you were born, God said, Katie, congratulations, you get a G-spot. Christy, I'm so sorry, you're screwed, right? Okay, you got one. Some people have a very prominent one that's very, very easy to hit, and others, it's like a treasure hunt, okay? It can be very challenging. Chances are you've had yours stimulated, and you panicked, because it made you feel like you had to pee right now. We turned into Hercules, like we are so freaked out by that. Pee, like it's the scariest thing on the planet, right? So we run to the bathroom and nothing happened. I am here to give you, Heather Pillow's no pee guarantee. You cannot feel pleasure and urinate at the same time. It's physically impossible. When your partner gets an erection, can he pee? Nope. They have to completely lose their erection before they can go to the bathroom. Same for you, y'all. That's the way that it works. So in the event that you get the sensation that you have to pee right now, it is the one time I will encourage you to think of me. Heather Pillow said to power through it. And then keep going, okay? Because like you're so close to having a wild all-over body orgasm. Now, look at this super cool toy. This is called Wanda. It's a wand. Get it? Fun. Okay, so look at the shape of this. Does your partner have this? Anyone got a hook? Nope. Pretty unlikely. If you have one, clearly you are very loyal to that because it's going to do exactly what you need it to do. Now, the reason we have this is that your G-spot hides up behind your pubic bone. And it's a little different for everybody because, again, we're kind of like snowflakes. Vaginas are like snowflakes, okay? There's no two that are alike. But when you use a G-spot toy, we don't just penetrate, we scoop. You start with the tip and gently scoop your way up. And then a lot of women actually find with the G-spot toy that a little bit of a rocking motion is actually exactly what they need because it's going back and forth over that little area where your G-spot hides behind your pubic bone. Now, Wanda has actually been on the entire time I've been talking about her. She is very, very discreet. You hit the little on-off button up top, and then the lightning bolt will scroll through all the different functions. Okay, so you can kind of mix and match with this. Ooh, that was fun. Ooh la la. Hit the buttons as it comes around. The other thing that I get a lot of feedback on with my clients when it comes to G-spot toys, because it can be very challenging to hit it during intercourse, a lot of my clients like to use a G-spot toy with their partner while their partner is giving them great oral. So your partner's going to town clitorally with their mouth, but they're stimulating you vaginally with the toy. It feels like a threesome for you without all the extra body parts. Right? Super fun. All right, girls, so here comes Wanda. She's coming around. Again, pretty discreet. Don't be afraid to hit those buttons. So some women like to ask, what's the difference? How am I going to know if I had a G-spot orgasm? So your clitoris, most common orgasm, right? Clitoral orgasm, localized, external, right here. Less than 10 seconds for most women, and a lot of women then don't want to be touched, again, because they're too sensitive. Your G-spot is the bad girl of your anatomy. The more it is stimulated, the more you will orgasm, and because it is in your core, it will literally shake you from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. You will have all over body clenching, and many women actually find that they sleep like a baby after they have a G-spot orgasm. Okay, so your homework tonight is to go home and find yours. Okay. All right, so remember the beginning of the party, I told you that there was one rule. Does anybody remember what it was? What was my one rule?
Don't yuck on someone else's yum.
Don't yuck someone else's yum. That's exactly right. I'm going to invoke that rule right now because we're going back to pages 30 and 31, and we are going to talk about anal play. Ta-da! Yay! Now, if I say the word anal and you go into sphincter lockdown, I'm going to ask you again to pipe down and drink more because your neighbor may very well feel differently. So let's have a little exercise together, shall we? Everyone, please look at the person on your left. Your other left, funny girls. And then look at the person on your right. 48% of heterosexual couples have or are experimenting with anal play. So one of your neighbors is getting freaky deaky in the background. many nerve endings in your anal area as you do in your clitoris. And if you've never tried it before, how do you know if you like it? That would be like you saying, oh, you want to lick me? I don't think that's a good idea. Like, duh, what's not great about that? But the first time you do it, does it feel a little unusual? Yes. So there's one right way to go about this and about 388 wrong ways. And if you've ever jumped into the wrong way and had a bad experience, now you're terrified. Don't be terrified. So don't ever think that you can go from I've never been touched anally to full-blown intercourse all in one fell swoop and expect it to go well. It simply won't. And honestly, nobody ever plans their first anal adventure. It's not like it's on your day planner. You're like, today, right? Typically, it's like 3 bottles of wine in on a big night. You're like, okay, just try it. And the next morning, you wake up, and you not only have a headache, but you're like, and your partner's laying next to you like this. Okay, so we have a great tool that's a perfect first-timer, trying to get ramped up, not really sure about this product, okay? And it's called the Vibrating Pleasure Bead. You'll see it right there on page 31. This is brilliant. You don't even have to penetrate, y'all. You can literally rest this between your cheeks, maybe during doggy style, get lots of vibration, but no penetration. So when you first turn this on, there's a little ribbed cap to the end of it. Turn it just 3 millimeters, okay? Just a little. It's going to give you some gentle vibration. Can it do more? Yeah, okay, but we're not going to turn you into a jackhammer. Be careful. So, 3 millimeters, start slowly. Now, look at the tip of this. So, quick anatomy lesson in the back door. You're all familiar with the sphincter that you see externally. There's actually one 1 inch past that. And that is where much of this discomfort comes if you go too quickly, okay? So, little external massage, a little vibration, right? Fun, 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 play, lots of maybe nipple stimulation, the twirl at the same time, like, get a little bit of extra stimulation going. Takes about 60 seconds from the time you tap this area until the message gets to your brain that it needs to relax because it has an involuntary reflex. It's a very, very strong muscle. Now, once that relaxes, your partner in particular will actually feel the relaxation because they're playing back here and they will go 1 notch. 1 notch. Promise? This is, even the largest notch is smaller than his finger, but go just 1 notch because it goes 1 inch and it gets to the second one. And again, you're going to have the same stoppage, 60 seconds, for the message to get there that it needs to relax further. You can stop right there. Some women will have an orgasm before they ever get any further because it's so, so sensitive. But if you do want more penetration, you go slowly, okay? This is not a ripcord. We don't get crazy with this, okay? This is not a huge thruster. It's lots and lots of internal stimulation, but not pulling out too quickly. Now, I promise you, again, even if you go all the way to the top bead, it's going to be smaller than your partner's fingers. This is a great way to start out. The other thing you have to remember with anal play is lubricant. You have no natural lubrication in the anal area, and neither does your partner. This product is not just great for us, it absolutely could be used on a male partner. But the rule of thumb is that we do not share toys in the back door. So if they love anal play and you do too, 1 vibrating pleasure bead for you, 1 for them. You use a Sharpie, you write your initials on it, and you put them in your separate bedside tables, okay? Keeps it easy. Now, if you have done some experimenting and you're not a first-timer, we have some excellent products as well. You'll see Bum Diggity is there. We also have, that little gem? Yeah, little gem that is an actual butt plug. So talk to me in the shopping room, and I'll make sure that we choose the right products for you. Simply Silk is the lubricant that we recommend for anal play. That was the silicone one that was so soft. And also waterproof. So a lot of women actually find that they enjoy anal play initially in the shower or the tub because you tend to be more relaxed in the water. So just kind of experiment a little bit. Last thing, if you're really, really interested in figuring out how to make this work, we have an excellent book called Tickle My Tush, written by a female doctor from a woman's perspective. So it really is a great guideline to kind of help you out and make it comfortable. Okay? All right, girls, we are done with the anal section. We can all take a deep breath. And relax your bum. Good job. Okay. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Go. We have 2 more toys being ready. Go to pages 24 and 25. Now, if you've ever had a friend who was like, oh my gosh, I have a rabbit, and she proceeds to TMI, TMI, TMI. You're like, woo, it's a lot of information. It's because rabbits bring out the emotion in us, okay? Like, they're going to make you scream your own name is really what it boils down to. So we have 2 gentlemen that I would like to introduce you to. two. The first one is Bob, and the second one is Tom. This is Bob. Bob is our battery-operated boyfriend, and Bob is your traditional rabbit. Now, why is it called a rabbit? Because there's cute little bunny ears. It could be an elephant, it could be a butterfly, it doesn't really matter. All it really means is that you have both vaginal and clitoral stimulation simultaneously. It's a dual action toy. So you're actually going to have blended stimulation for a much easier time to achieve orgasm. Now, Bob has 7 rows of amazing rotating beads giving you wild vaginal stimulation. Most of the nerve endings, 80% of the nerve endings in the vagina are at the opening, which is why when your partner penetrates the first time during intercourse, you're like, woo! Unless he goes all the way out and all the way back in again, we've established how hard that is, you don't get the same stimulation at that spot. But with a toy like Bob, those beads are going wild the whole time, exactly where you need them. However, the real kicker on Bob is really the clitoral stimulator. It is a full-size bullet, but it's jelly-coated, so it's very soft and pliable, and he's got little ears. His ears aren't even on, okay? Here we go, wait for it. Right? Start on low, y'all, okay? Don't get crazy. Now, look at them. Can your partner do that? No! You can't. I'm sorry. Like, they just can't. That's a tongue cramp waiting to happen, okay? So, his ears are actually split. This is not just to make him cute, it's smart. Most women are too sensitive at the tip of their clitoris. You go to one side or the other. This is going to go to both sides. It's going to flank your clitoris, and the ears are long and pliable. It's going to tuck up under your clitoral hood and hit everything good. Wildly stimulating. Now, you also have a reverse button on Bob. He will actually change directions. This is not just because he's cool, okay? This is because some women are more sensitive counterclockwise than clockwise, so it really is personal preference for you, all right? All right, I'll pass him around. Oh, do your toy handshake, don't forget. Wrap your hand around the shaft, bunny ears with your thumb and your forefinger, close your eyes and have a moment with your vulva, okay? Okay. Whoops, let's turn him off because he's going wild. Okay, last toy of the evening. I always save the best for last. So this toy is for those of you who are my Tiffany's girls, who are like, if it's not the best, what's the point, right? It's also great for those of you that are my toy killers. The killers are the toys where you're like, it was great, twice, right? If you're the girl that burns out motors, this is going to be a great option for you. This is Tom. Now, Tom stands for Triple Orgasm Machine because he's giving you loads and loads and loads of stimulation. So, you can see he's got a little bit longer shaft, okay? And look, he's so pliable. What is that? What does he do? Wait for it. Unfortunately, this one is not working as fast as he should because the batteries are not right, but play along. Okay, look at him go. Right? He's thrusting. You do know we love that, right? Yes, we do. We love it. Not only is he going to give you an amazing feeling of fullness, he's got one row of strategically placed beads way up high. It's giving you 2-dimensional G-spot stimulation. It's going back and forth and around and around. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Now, as if that isn't enough, the reason he's soft and pliable is because your orgasm is going to make you clench and contract your pelvic floor muscle so firmly. This is actually going to build muscle at the same time as achieving orgasm. Hello? Like, this, your insurance company should pay for this. Okay, now, the real kicker, oh my gosh, really?
Are you better than Tom?
He just died. Okay. All right, so look at him. Look, wait for it. Off. On. Off. On. Seriously. Look at his little nose. It's clapping for your vagina. That's so fun. Look at him. He's like, woo! Yeah, I mean, he's excited. So, gosh, seriously? This battery. Girls, his nose, his wings, his body, the whole thing is all vibrating from the opening of the vaginal area all the way up to the tippy top of your clitoris and out to your labia. Your entire vulva is all vibrating simultaneously. Yes, you are going to scream your own name, and that's okay. All right? Now, when he comes around, wait for it, he has an F key. You can imagine what F is for. Now, hit it, and he changes directions. He teases you. Hit it again, and he does the hustle over your G-spot. Back and forth. Pretend. Sorry. Okay, so. Oh my gosh, he's so frustrated. There he goes. Oh, just kidding. Oh my gosh, sorry. Okay, so, at any rate, when he's working properly, he's amazing. So, this will kill your toy sales in a hot minute of the party, won't it? Always check your batteries before your party. Okay, girls, so here's what's gonna happen. I want you to do your toe handshake. Let's not do a hand kegel, okay? Don't try and kill Tom. We're just trying to love on him a little bit, all right? Here he comes around. Don't be afraid to push the buttons. Now, is this a first timer toy? Maybe not, okay? So dial it back. Talk to me in the shopping room, and I'll make sure if you're a first timer that we find the right toy for you. All right, now, as it's coming around, Tom's gonna spend a little time. Does anybody have any questions for me? Did you guys have a good time? Yeah. How about a huge round of applause for our hostess, Katie? Okay. Now, girls, a couple of housekeeping notes. So, first of all, if you have lingerie that you've held to the side, please feel free to try it on. Katie will show you where you can go for a little privacy, and again, if you decide to come out and model your lingerie, you'll get 10% off of it. So come out and swing it around. Now, those of you that are looking through your wish lists, we have a couple of different options, okay? So first of all, some of you have little envelopes that I have given you earlier in the night. That envelope has an immediate gratification gift, and it also has a bigger gift, but you can't open it and look at it until you choose a date for your party. When 3 of these envelopes are open, Katie will get to choose whatever she wants from the catalog for free, okay? So let's make sure we hook up our hostess. Now, the other thing is when you decide to do some big shopping tonight, not only are you gonna love what you go home with, but you're helping the hostess. And you have the ability to become a VIP. My VIPs get a free, fun gift when they hit $150. Their gift for this month is the Coochie Pink Cupcake. It's a full-size 8-ounce coochie cake, again, totally free, saves you $28. We also have an elite level to my VIP club, though, for those of you that love things like Tom and want to make sure that you invest in your pleasure. When your sales hit $300 tonight, not only are you going to get this coochie, but you will actually be able to choose one of our couples toys as your free gift as well. So definitely make sure that you come and you do a little shopping. Now, the last thing that I want to remind you of is if you watch me tonight and you thought this girl literally has the funnest job on the planet, you are correct. I get paid to party. I make 6 figures doing this. I only work about 20 hours a week, and I have total control of my schedule. I work where I want, for whom I want, and the time that I want. I am home for my children. I don't have to ask the boss for time off. I can be on every field trip, there for every sick day, and have total control. If I want to have lunch with my lady friends, I can do it anytime I want to. So if you love the idea of being your own boss, let me help you fire your boss. I would love for you to be doing this and making this kind of money as well. So chat with me in the shopping room and we'll make sure we get you hooked up. Any questions? All right, girls, thank you so much. You guys were super fun. Questions, go ahead.
Just one thing you didn't cover, which I think is a bit of an issue for us here, is the $10 question in handling. When would you actually bring that up?
I don't ever bring it up. I just charge them. So if somebody says to me, what is this for? And I carry inventory, I'm like, I have actually prepaid your shipping charge so you don't have to wait because I know you want your orgasm tonight. All you're doing is reimbursing me.
Okay.
That's what I say.
So
If they've ever been to an in-home party of any kind before, our shipping fee is nothing compared to Pampered Chef, Southern Living, Tupperware. Theirs is like the bigger their order, the bigger their shipping is. Ours is flat rate. So if somebody's coming in and buying a bottle of Gucci,
Ours is opposite.
I'm like,
That's the opposite.
Ours is the opposite.
yours is the opposite.
Yeah, Tupperware's like $3 or $2.
$3?
Yeah.
So it's party line.
And
I
party
paid
lights
$8.
like
Are you kidding?
yeah.
Oh yeah, no, we don't. Ours is,
We're-
the shipping
we're
on
the
those
most
are
expensive.
huge for us. Huge. The bottom line is if somebody ever gives me a hard time, and it's literally like maybe once a year that somebody ever really gives me an issue, I'm going to say, you know what, if you want me to ship it to you, I can ship it to you. But the bottom line is that everybody pays a delivery fee. And then break eye contact. Done. Yep, that's ridiculous. Don't be cheap. Like if you're buying a $200 vibrator, get over yourself. Yes.
You said the host never pays full price. Do you
Yes.
give them 40% off?
Okay, great question. So my hostess program is this. 10% of the sales in straight up free product, which is what the company dictates. They get a free gift. Typically it's a heart massager or between the sheets or whatever. Like I just pick something kind of seasonally. Body Boost is actually something that I've been doing recently because that's a hot new product for us. And then anything that they want that isn't covered by their hostess credit, I give them 40% off. Now, keep in mind I'm at a 60% buying discount. So the girls on my team that are at 40%, I encourage them to give their hostess 20% off of everything else. The bottom line for me is this. I don't want my hostess to come out of pocket any more than she already has. And she probably already has because of snacks and cocktails and everything else. So if you can be generous with her, she will not only be loyal to you, she'll shop more. My average hostess gets more than $400 of stuff. And they're verbal about it. It's not at all unusual for my hostess to get more than $800 of product because they're saving hundreds of dollars. And when they have a big wish list, it just makes sense. Plus, it's super easy during the party to say, my hostess doesn't pay full price for anything. It's easy. It doesn't require any explanation. You can get into the detail, the nitty-gritty part, when she books a party. But everybody understands that. I don't pay full price for anything. And then when the hostess comes out and she's like, look at the bags of stuff I got. Now people are like freaked out, and the ones that haven't booked want to book with you. So without your hostess, you don't have a business. Be as generous as you possibly can without losing money. And you're not losing any money by giving her part of your discount. You're not. You're still making money. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But you had a question, Bob.
Yeah, so they're getting 10% of your sales.
Yes?
Yep. And then you're going to give them 40%. So you're obviously going to, and then you're going to be.
You want me to do the numbers?
Sorry, yep.
You look confused. Okay. So let's say that she wants $200 of product, and she earned $100 in hostess credit. So I add her up just like a regular guest. Tax, shipping, the whole kit and caboodle. I lop off the $100, and then whatever's left, I take 40% off. That's it. Yep. I don't double discount. Good question. Yes?
When do you give her hostess gift?
Depends on the hostess and how much they're paying attention. Sometimes it's in the party, and sometimes it's in the shopping room. It just kind of depends. If they're really, really rowdy, I'm really minimizing what's going on out in the party because I need to get to the toys. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Just wondering, do you give her a credit per party booked or
No.
extra
I don't care.
gift?
If she gets one party booked, high five to her, she gets nothing.
Okay.
When she has three, once all three of them have held on their original dates, she can come back to me and choose anything she wants out of the catalog. And I mean anything, even if it's the most expensive vibrator, no problem. Because without her, I would not have had those 3 bookings. And it's my job to hostess coach them to be the level that I need them to be.
Okay, I've already promised the $20 credit, which is what I was originally told for the parties I've got coming up.
That's
Gonna
for you.
Change it.
Do whatever works for you. If it's working and you're getting bookings, great.
Okay.
If you're not getting 3 bookings at a party, be more generous.
Yeah, because I'd rather change it to that one.
Yes, absolutely. And I will tell you, in 9 years, I've had two hostesses that tracked it and came back to me and said, I'm ready for my free gift. 2, that's it.
So you don't contact them?
Hell no, I don't contact them. It's her job. Her job. And if somebody falls off and she's like, oh no, my friend just canceled my party. I'm like, if you have another friend that wants to book and fill that 3rd spot, I'm on it. Why not? If she wants to refer someone to me, oh yeah, I'm in. Anybody else? So did you guys see the structure of the party?
Yeah.
How it flows? How the demos, there weren't a lot of them, but they were detailed. I was very, very specific about how you use them and what you use. And you saw that I mentioned products that I wasn't showing, but they were quick, easy, like, by the way, we have this, this, and this. You know what I mean? So that it makes it easy in the shopping room to just bring it up real fast, and you've got an easy upsell. Yes?
I just have a question. I know she actually didn't demo sensations. Do you normally not? Or how do you bring that into it?
It just depends. It's a really messy product at parties, and if I get a fussy group of women, they're like, my hands are sticky, bleh. I actually do a really, 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 really funny demo on it, but it's not appropriate for super conservative crowds.
Like when we said.
We're Australian, we're not conservative.
Okay, so I tell them, I'm like, okay, I want you to put your hand out like you're going to fist bump me, turn it sideways. They do this. I'm like, I'm going to come around and put one little drop right here on your hand. Don't touch it till I get all the way around. And I really try to use as little as humanly possible. So little dot, little dot, little dot, little dot, little dot. Now, on your other hand, 2 fingers up like Dirty Girl Scouts honor. Before I tell you what else to do, can anybody tell me why you absolutely may not masturbate with these 2 fingers? Because they're mine. Now you take those fingers and rub. Rub. Oh, do you see? It's getting warm. Oh, I Malibu moment? What do you guys have?
Hot butter rum.
Is that the only one you have?
No.
Strawberries and cream and hot butter rum.
Tango.
Oh, God, you have the blue one. Trying to make an orange dreamsicle or tango tangerine. Whatever. But I'm telling you, once you get them giggling, they're like, but again, like, it's a pretty naughty demo, so like, my conservative crowd, I can't do that. Yeah. My younger crowd, they love that stuff. And they're the ones more likely to lick anyway, right? Okay.
I've got a lot that I was doing. I was doing nearly the whole lot. But I want to reduce it, like you said, and not do as much. What should I do with the demo?
Okay, great question. So go through and look at the ones that you don't sell really well. Okay, so pick one or two of those where you're like, I'm just not selling it well, but I have a couple of them in inventory, and show them at your next party and discount them. Say, I got new products coming in, girls. I need to kind of thin the herd, so I'm going to give you a killer discount on a fun product that's retiring. It doesn't mean it's retiring from the company; it's retiring from you. And just get rid of what you got, and then take the money that you make from those, and reorder the products that you want to be showing. Does that make sense? Yeah. Any other questions?
Put it in a bag under your desk. Trust me, we've got lots.
Well, and especially like if it's a lotion or whatever, like you can decide, do you like it? Yes. If you do, then you put it into your own personal stash. Toys, honestly, like I keep my demo toys because you'd be amazed at how often they come back.
That's right.
Just hang on to it. Put them in a little drawer where they're not hurting anything. Any other questions? I think we're out of time, right? Pretty close?
Yeah.
9:06. Oh my gosh, we went over. Sorry. Yes, one more question.
Do you have multiple demo kits or do you only have one?
I have one. I have lots of stuff in it, and I pick and choose based on the demographic and the season and the hostess preference what I'm going to show at any individual brand. Good question. All right, girls, did you find that helpful?
Yes.
Okay, good. Last question.
You had because you had matching fragrances and stuff on the table. I'm assuming you leave some of those sealed so that you can sell them off the table if necessary. No.
No, anything that's on my demo table is open, clicking, touching, smelling, all of that. Yeah.
So you pass them all around, like all flavors of it?
Absolutely. Yep. Yep. Okay, girls, please be patient because they are going to get all these documents from hostess coaching and all that jazz up on COO just as fast as possible. If you have questions, you are welcome to Facebook message me. I'm under Heather Wilson Pillow. Don't bother sending me a friend request, y'all, because I don't allow random consultants, and please don't be offended by that. But Facebook limits the number of people that we can have as friends, and I need to save those for my clients. Most of my posts are public, so you will see what I'm posting, unless it's personal for my family and friends, right? So please feel free to follow me if you want to. Definitely, I would love your feedback. So if there were things that I did today that you loved, I would love to hear it. If there are things that you would love to have seen more of, let me know that as well. And you are welcome to send your feedback to Chris, because I'm sure he would love to know what you think. Please go home. Pick 3 things you want to implement right now. You cannot implement everything we talked about today all in one fell swoop because you won't get it done. Pick 3, do it immediately in the next 24